Hello, 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 everybody. We have some bad news. There's a rain delay, Taunton. Thank you so much, everybody, joining us right now. We will be keeping an eye on the cricket in Taunton, and we'll be playing you some podcasts in the meantime. We'll start off with the Dan Patterson podcast, which is one of the more interesting and recent ones. So please enjoy that while we wait for the rain. Feel free to comment on YouTube and Facebook. We'll be watching those. And you can tweet us at GUERILASA. And yes, let's have some conversation in the comments. And if there are any of the commentators that are available, maybe have a chat, a team discussion. Very sad, but what can you do? So feel free to watch our Twitter feed. We'll be posting there some updates, but it doesn't look good for the rest of the day. And as soon as there's any news about play to resume or once play is called off, we will update on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. So once again, thank you very much for your support, and let's have a listen to Dane Patterson in conversation with the Full Quote podcast team. Remember, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel and get notified when we do go live. And we're just waiting for the English summer rain, as the song goes. Thank you.
And hello, and welcome to new season, Tim. I'm not sure if you want to call this the new season, but it is a new season of the Full Quota podcast with myself and Paul Mutlani, as well as Tim Del Lace. It's going to be another jam-packed season of cricketing discussion, everything else, and we've got an incredible interview lined up for you to start it off as we go into the new cycle. The new financial year of CSA started at, I think, at the end of April. And so we're all moving down. Let me introduce my co-host, Tim. Tim, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Yes, I think we can call this season 2. We've had at least 2 weeks break, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
We needed a refresh. We needed a bit of a break from the constant podcasts. But yeah, all ready for the what's new and the different things we're going to be giving you going into the next couple of months.
Yes, Tim, that's very true. And so now, obviously, we've got a great interview lined up for you. But for those who are wondering about when we're going to talk about what's been happening at CSA, the news that came out today, we will be doing that tomorrow. So just do watch out for that. We're just going through everything, just making sure that we don't want to do because the problem about a reaction that's very fresh is that sometimes you just miss certain things, so certain angles. So we're trying to see what the best angle is, and we're going to try and give you our thoughts as well as what we think is going to happen going on. But we've got a really, really awesome guest for you. I'm not sure if he's doing it from his home county now or his adopted county, but we have Protea bowler, fast bowler Dane Patterson here to discuss his career and his current playing situation at Nottinghamshire as well. He took 10 wickets last week or a couple of weeks ago, so we are all excited here because Tim does this. Tim always just watches South African players. If you're a South African player, he'll watch you. And so I've been hearing a lot about when you were taking your 8 wickets in that one innings, and that first innings, he kept on sending me messages, and I was like, dude, I'm at work. But let's keep on going. A message to watch.
Good on Tim. Good on Tim.
Yes. So Dane, we'd like to say thank you for spending some time with us. Are you in your home county? Are you in Nottinghamshire, or where are you right now?
Yeah, I am in Nottingham. We just finished off some training. So, the boys are off to Lords. Unfortunately, I'll be out because I pulled up with a back spasm. So, yeah, I could have gone, but don't want to jeopardize a team where I could be bowling my first over in the first inning, and all of a sudden pull up. And then, we're in a great position. We're basically playing another team in form, Middlesex. They on top of Div 2, leading by a couple of points. So if we could come out with a positive result, it will be good for us.
Yeah, so then you've had a really great start to the season. Then you've taken about 18 wickets so far this season. How are things that side? I think, I know it's not your first time, I think it's your second time as an overseas pro at Nottingham. How is it now this time around?
A bit easier because I think last year I had to learn, I'll basically get to know everybody, learn the conditions. So I was basically busy on the field with training, and then obviously off the field, getting to know my teammates and things like that. So this year's been easier. I've just gotten off the plane and into training, and it just feels like a second home at the moment.
Awesome. Give us an idea of how it all came about, because you were playing for South Africa. You were playing in the last test match when England were here. How did that come about? That move over to Notts?
So before I made my debut with that test match, I think the ECB said that if you play a number of first-class games in the year, I think you qualify. And then I qualified, and then got a call from Notts, obviously offering me a coal pack. And then first of all, I said no, and then played the first test. And then in the second test, it was a bit between me and Keshav. So basically with me, like just being in and out the national side, not being given a proper go at it. So just play one game here, and then back to the Cobras when I was playing for the Cobras. Do well, back into the setup, out, back into the setup. So it was kind of frustrating. So to go back to that, played the second test at the Wanderers because if I remember, it rained the first day. Yes. So there was quite a lot of cross coverage. So Boucher just came to me and said that I'm playing because we had like 4 days, and he thought that 4 seamers would do the trick. And then said no to Notts because I thought, okay, maybe this could be the opportunity now to be a bit longer in the system. And then I think I think I had a chat to Ashwell, and then I think Ashwell had a chat to Graham Smith, I think, and then Ashwell probably just said, like, I think it's a good thing if you sign it. So signed the deal. Never came due to COVID. Never came here 2020, and then came here 2021, and it's if I look back now, I think for my career, it's been a good move.
Yes,
Well, your record at Notts is better than anywhere else you've played for. You've got 72 wickets to 17. So
Yeah.
you've taken like a duck to water.
Yeah. I think speaking to Rory, because he's been a long time playing for Northampton, and he actually said that don't look to swing the ball, just try and nip the ball, because I think English players are used to swing. So he just said, do what you do in South Africa, and then you'll be successful in the UK. So yeah, he was quite right at that.
Speaking about that, so obviously we watch and we see the Duke ball hoop around, and we hear all these things about the swinging conditions. And as Tim said, it's the best. You've got the best figures of anywhere you've played in your career. What was it? Was it because you were quite a swing bowler here, and you were quite successful here. But what's the difference between bowling, let's say, in the Cape and bowling in the UK?
Yeah, I think the balls do make a huge difference. I think conditions-wise also, if it's overcast, like day one against Worcester last week, I mean, we won the toss and we bowled, and it was overcast the whole day. And I think if you put it in the right area, and I just think the ball will do its work. I think it's actually not a bad wicket, because if you bowl badly, you get it for boundaries there, Trent Bridge, even on a cloudy day. So I mean, if you keep things quiet and hit the length, then you get your rewards, because there's always a ball here as in Trent Bridge. So I think as a bowling unit, we know that. So if things don't go our way, we just know that there is a ball in it. So yeah, the balls do make a big difference. I think playing at the coast helped me a lot, because bowling a fuller length, hitting the top of the stumps, the length to go in the Cape. So yeah, I think playing at the coast helped a lot.
That's good to know.
Interesting. What about, particularly with the Proteas going over there in a couple of months for their series? What about bowling with Stuart Broad? What's that been like? What's Stuart Broad like off the field as well as on? You seem to have built a nice partnership there when he does play. That you guys seem to be gelling quite nicely.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I met him when we played the series over in South Africa. He looked quite an intimidating bloke. And then obviously last year met him, and basically just started chatting. And basically just made me feel like welcome and that. So it's like, and then obviously gave me a couple of tips what to do and things like that. Basically, he told me just try and hit the deck hard here, don't try to look to swing it. So yeah, he's been a big help. Lots of experience. It's actually scary to think he's played 152 tests as a seamer and 500 and odd wickets. So yeah, he offers a lot. But one thing I actually admire about him, whenever he's available, he wants to come play for Notts. So that's actually a pleasing thing to see. And he actually gives 100% on the field. So yeah.
That's actually
Awesome.
that's actually really nice to hear.
Yeah.
About because that's the other thing I think for us who aren't in obviously inside the change rooms and aren't professionals is it feels like in the UK the national team squad members and team players want to play for their counties. We saw Ben Stokes's ridiculous 100 last week.
Yeah.
Tim was watching that because of David Bedingham, by the way, but
Yes.
he got a
Big
show.
David Bellingham fan.
He's a massive David Bedingham
Massive
fan.
fan. But I was actually expecting a tweet there when we played against Durham because I got him out twice. So
Tim, you gotta be
He
fair.
did.
Gotta
He
be
did.
fair.
He got him out twice. And
Yeah.
he got Keegan Peterson out once as well
Yeah.
in
So
the same game.
yeah.
How actually speaking about all the South Africans, how is it seeing all the South Africans playing against all the guys you used to play with here, that side? Do you guys, I know obviously England is vast and everything. Do you guys meet up? Do you guys chat? But even obviously once you play, like when you're playing Durham, how was that seeing KP and Michael and all those guys?
Yeah.
David, sorry.
KP and Betters, they are 3 hours away, so it's quite fun. So it's always good to see them. We're always having a like banter before the game and stuff. But it's actually nice. We were actually supposed to meet up for beer, but then we bowled them out for 33 overs on day 3. So yeah, so they had a long team meeting and he asked me where am I, but it was good because like we just got together just before the Fury fight. So just spent like an hour or two together, and then we went to go and watch a Fury fight as a team because boxing is also followed widely. So it's actually good. I know Buren and Vian, they in Leicester, so they're half an hour away from me. So it's just a pity because they are playing, I think, 7 on the bounce. So I think once they have a week off, I think we'll meet up. I think George, I don't know how far Kent is, but it's always nice to see South Africans. Even last year, seeing Mashanta Lange, Merva when we played against Somerset, Lewis de Pleer, Mikey Cohen, what else did I see? Carl Abbott played against Simon Harmer. So yeah, it's always good to see South Africans.
Yeah,
No,
particularly now with the removal of the call pack. It's good for South African cricket that they're now over there playing a full season, getting the experience. Someone like Lewis Deploy, still got a lot to learn, but a youngster could learn a lot from the more experienced guys that have been there, like Wayne Madsen. Wayne Madsen is basically an Englishman now.
Yes, he is an Englishman. He is an Englishman right now. And yeah, I mean that's what I've learned also. So many South Africans that have been here for such a long time. So yeah, and they're playing like first team cricket. So yeah, it's good to know.
What's it like working with Peter Moore? I ask this because he's been the England coach twice. So, I'm told he's very technical as a coach. Is that true?
Yeah, he's a very technical coach, but when it comes to man management, I think it's one of the best coaches I've worked with. I think it's important these days to have man management sorted as a coach, because I mean, as players you go through a lot if you have a dip in form, and I mean just seeing how he works in that section of coaching, is unbelievable. But I mean, he's worked with so many characters. He's seen everything that's come and gone. So experience-wise, it's a lot. So yeah, it's one of the best coaches that I've worked under. Technical-wise, he's good. I mean, if you have a bad session, you'll hear about it. But at the end of the day, he'll say, if you do like, he'll say like, okay, my bad. I should have had that outburst, but it was needed. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of coaches. So basically, he focused more on the batters, and we have a bowling coach, Kevin Shine. So basically, I'll be working with him. So yeah, so split. So there's a lot of splits when it comes to that. But yeah, unbelievable human being, unbelievable.
That's really good to hear, especially from a coaching perspective. Dan, I'm going to take you back a little bit. I'm going to ask you, how did you get into the game of cricket? You know, like I always ask our guests this, but it's very fascinating to hear how the stories end up.
We used to live opposite the park. So I have an older brother, so he used to play. He used to be with. They used to call it the Super Juice Academy in Boland. So he used to be a part of that because he played club cricket in Boland, in the Boland League. So he used to have him and his mates were obviously he's 7 years older.
Dan, can you hear us? Sorry about that, everyone. Dan's just having some technical difficulties. Tim, can you hear me?
I can hear you. As he was talking about his brother, he went off for me.
Yeah.
I
Wait to
think
see
he might have just pressed the mute button by mistake.
Okay. He's taken himself off, but I'll just wait. We do apologize for that. Yeah, so far so good. How are you loving this conversation, Tim?
It's good. It's always good to get opinions.
We got Dane back.
Sorry
about
that.
No, that's okay. Okay.
Yeah, so as I was saying, they had a lot of older mates. So I think one day they were playing cricket on the field, and obviously me being this young boy running in between them, wanting to play because obviously you want a chance to now show these big guys that you can also play. And then my brother was like, "Come here." So basically, he said, "Just stand like over here in front of me," and then stood there and told his friend, "Just bowl here, please." So basically, it was a half volley. Basically, smacks it back at me in my eye, and then obviously me running to my mom, and I think we always joke about it because he says he thinks that day he hit some cricket sense into me. So yeah. So yeah, we always used to play like cricket in the house and things like that. Eating my mom's lamps broken, so me bowling. So yeah, that's how I started to basically grow the love for cricket.
When did you realize that you could make a future out of it? That it wasn't just going to be a hobby and do things on a Saturday, that you could actually make a career out of the game?
Yeah, I think when I made under 17 week, at Western Province. We had the week in Bloemfontein, and I finished up the highest wicket taker. And I was like, okay, could do this. And then played, and then made the Coke week for Western Province. I took like 2 wickets in that whole week. I was like, oh no, this is not what I wanted. And then 2009 made my first class debut against Northern Cape. And then started playing, because you never know. You were just like, okay, you think you can make it, so let's give it. And then started playing, doing well. I think that year we won the 3-day cup and the 1-day cup. And then got a call from Graham Ford to say he wants me to trial at the Dolphins, and then trialed there. And then I think on my 20th birthday, I think I made my first class debut for my franchise debut for the Dolphins. And I spent like 2 years there at the Dolphins, and then I was like in the balance because I didn't have a great last year. And then, I think came back to Western Province on a semi-pro, played 4 games, and then haven't looked back.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
that's awesome. It's always fascinating to see how people started and the journey, because obviously all journeys are different, especially to the highest level. The fact that you got to the highest level is a testament to your character and your determination. You came back to South Africa last year to play in the new revamped 4-day or domestic structure. You're playing for the Warriors. How was that experience? I know you didn't play a lot of games. What did you? Because everyone was talking about, obviously it's strengthening the competition. How did you find that season last year, or that ended this year? Sorry.
Obviously I wanted to play more games, but I came back injured. I had a bone stress on my L5 that was close to a stress fracture. So I had like 8 weeks off. So I was a bit disappointed because I was quite excited to play and see how the new format with this new 2 divisions. But yeah, it's actually very enjoyable there at the Warriors. There's a lot of good young players that are coming through there that are willing to learn. So I think me as a more experienced guy just try to help the fast bowlers there, because I think at this stage of my career, I think you just want to give the guys that wanna learn. I think I have this philosophy where I won't like come to you, like to me, because if you're willing to learn, you want to find out how to do this, how to do that. So yeah, that was quite enjoyable because some of the youngsters wanted to actually learn of me. So it was actually good. But I enjoyed them. I enjoyed PE. I love playing in PE. I think I made my my Cobras debut in PE, where Andrew Patik scored 248 and Ashwell scored 197. I took like 5 for 130, I think. I bowled plenty of overs. It was a flat wicket. So I mean, I love playing at St George's Park. So yeah, it was just a pity that I played such a little games, and I think it was also disappointing because on the last 4-day game I got COVID. So the last day of the bubble I got COVID. So I actually was like was a bit disappointed missing out on that game in Bloemfontein, because I think we had a big chance of winning the 4-day competition.
Yes, and the thing about that Warriors team is that they were very young, and it was a bit of a surprise, because obviously they don't have a lot of the big names that the Lions and the Titans had, and they gave as much as they got, and that's one of the things I loved about what Robbie P was building there. The other thing is you're moving to Western Province
Yes.
for the next season.
Yeah.
I've got two questions about that. How do you feel about returning home? And the other thing is, has that Newlands wicket actually changed throughout your career? Because it looks a lot flatter, and I think throughout the season the spinners were taking a lot more wickets. Or will you be coming back to make sure that you set the record straight and it's just a fast bowler's paradise?
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to come back. I mean, it's the way it all started. I think once Saleh Nakadin got the job, I think he gave me a call and he asked me like, what's my plans and things, and he said, there's an opportunity for you to come, but you first have to wait and see who's getting national contracts and who's coming down and stuff like that. So it was in the pipeline, and then I think he gave me I was in Cape Town, and he gave me another call and he said, do you want to come back and play? So I was like, I said yes, because the other reason also coming back is because I felt like I was 12 months away from my family. So I got quite a young little boy. So I mean, spending 6 months away from them, or actually last year 7 months because of COVID, they couldn't travel, and then spent 8 weeks, and then flying in and out from PE. So yeah, that was also one of the big reasons why I also came. I mean, people mustn't think, I didn't enjoy my time at the Warriors. I absolutely enjoyed my time at the Warriors, but yeah, I think that was one of the big reasons just to come home. So I'm not, because it basically felt like I was 12 months away from home.
That makes sense. Family is very important, especially because especially because you guys travel all the way.
Yeah. And the second point is that wicket has definitely got flatter. Definitely. I think since they started building there, and I think all that clay just blew on the wicket and dried it. So I think they could have taken a bit more precautionary, especially winter time and things like that, just to put like a white cloth over the wicket. I might sound like a groundsman. Maybe it's one. I want to become a groundsman, maybe.
Possible.
Yeah. So I just think it's just lost all its moisture. But yeah, like I say, I just think if they just leave a bit more moisture in, and maybe not sit on the roller as long, just to keep the grass alive. That's one of the things that they can do. I think when they played the Warriors, it actually looked like a good wicket because there was lively grass, and I know it was a low scoring game, but I mean, I think that's what you could that's what they could do, because I was actually bowling in the nets because I was coming from that 7-day protocol before play exercise from COVID. So I was actually bowling the nets, and the nets was actually nipping around. So I think they just need to reverse that. So whatever they do in the nets, whatever they're doing in the nets, they need to do in the middle.
Oh, I felt for Burger this last season when Burger and Marika were out for large parts of the season.
Yeah.
Poor old Blumen was doing his best, but he was,
Yes.
without a partner. And Carl Simmons did fantastically, I must say. On a wicket that suited him, he did fantastically.
Yeah, Carl did well. It's just a pity. I know that feeling. I probably got it the last 2 years before I left. So yeah, I know how the fast bowlers feel coming to Newlands. But yeah, hopefully next year I could just twist the groundsman's arm and say, I think Buren would also be in his ear, because Leicester are spending a lot of time in the third. So,
Oh my word.
yeah. So I think Buren will be more in his ear than I'll be. So yeah.
Yeah, he's having a tough time. What would be your favorite? What's your favorite pitch? Your favorite ground to bowl on? Or say your top 2 or 3.
Obviously, Newlands is number one. That novelty of the mountain doesn't wear off. I think I was there for more than 10 years, so that novelty doesn't wear off. So definitely Newlands. I love playing at St. George's Park. Obviously with the band and that, and the one days. But yeah, Trent Bridge has also become a bit special, just because last year we were sitting in the members lounge and there's this big window. So at the end of the day's play, when the sun gets out in the UK, it's quite nice because you just see the sun setting, and it just makes it a bit more beautiful, the ground. So I mean, you're just like sitting with your beer after a day's play, and you're just looking out, and you're being like, this is actually nice. Yeah, gutted to be missing out on Lords, so that would have been a good experience.
Yeah, it's an experience. I went there in 2019 to watch Middlesex play Lancashire. And then I think Dane Villa scored a lot of runs that day. And as a fan, it's an experience.
Yeah.
But I'm sure as a player, to go through the long room and to go through all those change rooms, it must be something else.
Yeah, I even wanted to twist Pete Moore's arm to say I'll carry drinks so I can just enjoy the lunches there.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. So, but anyway, he said with Bombio, he said
you'll have many more opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said I'll have a lot of opportunities. So
yeah. The Duke ball or the Kookaburra ball?
We had one because I took 7 for in PE with the Kookaburra, so I actually don't mind bowling with both balls, really. I mean, playing for so long with the Kookaburra turf, you get used to it. So I mean, I don't mind bowling with both balls, really. I think this year's balls are this year's Duke balls actually changed a bit because they're a bit smaller, and they get out of shape. So they get softer quicker. So basically, to me, it feels like a cooker. English guys, they complain a bit because obviously once it's hard, it goes around a bit. So once it's soft, then I'm like, oh, this ball's fine. Still doing it. So so yeah, so like I prefer both balls. So yeah.
It's actually pretty cool to see that you are using two different balls, and that's experience about the UK. It's that, or coming from South Africa to the UK, it's learning to do things with different sets of balls and on different pitches, and that's exciting thing. Dane, which is your favorite format?
The longer format. I think I've always enjoyed the longer format. To be fair, but yeah, I enjoy that more. But I mean, I don't mind playing all three. I enjoy all three, but when it comes to red ball cricket, I think I enjoy it a bit more. Okay. I think it's just your rewards at the end of the day. So I think that's what makes it kind of special.
Hopefully you'll get to experience finals day in the Blast.
Oh well, God, don't remind me about finals day. Oh, again, I got reminded last week actually. The guys in the dressing room, they were like, well, if it was for a certain individual, we probably would have enjoyed finals day last year. So I was like, what are you speaking to me? I was like, it's you guys. I did my job. You didn't do your job, and they were all laughing. So it's like a good banter where it was a disappointment, but we can laugh and joke about it now. But I always tell the guys, 8 out of 10, I probably would have hit that ball for 6. But yeah, so just one of those days. One of those days.
It is. Sometimes it's a gamble, you know. Yes. Yeah. I think for me, what are your expectations? What are your goals for this year, for this season?
Well, obviously to do well. I think one of my goals is, it's actually a long term, but it's obviously to win Div 2 or to get promoted. That's one of the goals. Obviously, hopefully to take another 50 wickets. That's another goal, but I'm not putting too much pressure on myself, because I think if I do that, then I don't take any wickets, then I'll kind of be hard on myself. So that's like a vague goal that I'm not too focused about. So yeah, just to do well. But I think the main thing is just to win a couple of trophies here this year. If you could win 2, that would be nice. But I think after our red ball heartache, I think not winning in a 4-day game for 1,000 days, 1,000 odd days. I think I'm doing well last year against Div 1 teams, and doing well this year in the comps. So hopefully we can get promoted and win Div 2. I think that's a goal of mine, definitely.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. Is there a young English batsman that we should keep an eye out for this Proteas tour that England might select? That you think, hang on, this guy's
Tim,
really
hold on.
good.
Dave, before you answer,
Yes.
Tim, are you asking about David Bellingham?
No, I'm not.
Okay, just
Bellingham
checking.
only qualifies in 2 years, so no.
Oh,
I'm talking
okay.
about now. Talking about right now.
Yeah. Harry Brooks is turning it on for Yorkshire. So he's a young guy. I think he scored like 600 and odd runs already.
Wow.
So yeah, I think he's one to watch. Played against him last year actually. He looks quite attacking because I know in white ball cricket he's actually electrifying. It's actually scary that the young guys. I think we have an all-rounder here, Lyndon James, that's tall and has long levers. Bats number 4, bowls first change. It's scary, and he's like 22, I think. So you have Will Smeed also out of nowhere, just comes in, takes on the 100. So I mean, I think if there's a test spot open, I think I know Harry Brooks is young, so I think Sri Lanka's coming over here first. So it will be interesting to see how England go about it. But yeah, I think it will be a good test series against them and the Proteas over here, because it's always a good test series when the Proteas come here.
Always good. Always entertaining. I have
Yeah.
one more. I promise, one more.
Sure, Tim.
This is just coming to my mind. I spoke to Wayne Parnell during the season, and he was saying that the T20 sides in South Africa are too provincial, whereas the English sides, they all play it the same way. They might go about it in a slightly different way, but basically they all go out there to attack from the start. So whether it is Yorkshire or Surrey, they play the England way of playing T20 cricket. Have you noticed that? Has that been evident while you've been there?
I have noticed that last year I played the first T20 game against Worcester, and Alex Hales and Joe Clark. Oh my word!
Oh
wow! I was like, I looked at Luke Fletcher. I was like, Fletch, do these guys really play like this from ball one? He's like, yes. And then
so you were just putting it on the line and length, and they were like, "It's out." Sorry, dog.
I was like, what? And then every game I played, batters just come hard at you, and I was like, whoa, this is actually scary, because they play fearless. And I mean, obviously you can see why England won the World Cup. But I mean, like, the blast, I mean, obviously the wickets are flat. Sometimes you get a very, very short side. I think so yeah, it's scary, but also this thing where there's like this fearless. I think what I heard in a team chat just before the game, I think we played against Warwickshire. They scored like 240 runs and we lost by 20 runs. So can imagine. So just before the chase, Peter Moores just said to the batsman, "It's up to you, lads. We back you. you're in charge when you're in the middle. I'm not there for you. So if you think that this is the ball to go, but you go out, we back you. But if it goes for 6, that's a bonus. So like that's the type of chat that goes around. So it's all positive chat. So yeah, it's incredible. So it just filters right down. So
Yeah.
It's really good to see. It's really nice to see the different perspective as the way in which teams look at T20s. I think the last question from us here is, what are your career ambitions going forward? What are you looking to get yourself in? Is it coaching? Is it TV? Is it being a groundsman at Newlands? Well, where are you looking at? Also, do you still hold some ambitions of getting back into the Protea setup?
Yeah, there is a small ambition to get there, but I mean, there's so many good bowlers that is coming up, like your Lazard Williams, your Clinton, Steermans, Anrich Nokia is there, Tuan Olivier is there, KG, Lungi, who else is there? I'm missing Dupavlon. So I mean, if I look at it, I'm quite down the line here. So there is a small ambition, but if you look at it, there's a good bowling barrage in South Africa at the moment, which is good to see. I see Gerald Kutsia took 4 for in the one game against Zimbabwe. So I mean, it's looking good for South Africa when it comes to fast bowling. So yeah, there's a small ambition, but I think time is sticking out for me, as you say. But career-wise, trying to do my coaching certificates over here in England. So stealing with an eye when it comes to my bowling coach. So just picking his brain and things like that. So because he's worked with England for a couple of years, so yeah, it's always good to ask him what to do and things like that. So yeah, I mean, today there's a lot of things to go in after cricket. When it comes to cricket, like your media, commentating, and all that, and coaching. So yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Well, Dane, thank you very much for joining us today on the Full Quarter podcast. I just want to say thank you very much. I wish you all the best for this season and this coming year. Looking forward to seeing you down in South Africa, and maybe if you're up at the Wanderers, I'll come say hi. Yeah, I support the Lions, so I know that you play for the Jersey Stars.
I'll be your local. I'm in Cape Town. I'll be your local.
Yeah,
so you'll see me
I'll
all the
see
time.
Tim more often.
Yes. Yeah, so you'll see Tim a lot more often.
Yeah.
I'll be up here. I remember you had that stint for the Jersey Stars, and then before MSL shut down. Yeah, we really enjoyed watching you bowl up here, and I'm sure I was sad that you didn't say the Wanderers when Tim asked you your favorite pitches, because I'm sure the Wanderers is something really nice.
That's actually Wanderers. I think we played that when it was Nelson Mandela's centenary, I think, against India, and it was packed. That was like, if people say you want to experience a full bull ring, and I experienced a full bull ring, and that's also up there.
Look, yeah.
Yeah.
But I just want to say thanks, all the best. You've
Yeah.
already started this season really well. When South Africans thrive, we're all happy. So, wish you all the best, man.
Cheers. Thanks a
So,
lot, guys.
Cheers,
yes,
man.
thank you very much, Dan.
Bye.
Right. Yes, Tim, thank you very much for organizing that. Really enjoyed just listening to Dane speak about his time that side as well as his career, and also about the other South Africans that are there. So yeah, Tim, tomorrow we're going to be talking some deep things. So
Yeah.
we're going to leave
Look,
it for tomorrow.
we
I
we
think
would,
we're
we would,
both going to be sitting on different sides of the fence, but that's why we have this podcast.
that's why we had this podcast. That is why we have this podcast. We're gonna do it now, but I think we need to do it completely separately on its
So
own.
I was
Shout
like,
out
when so I
all
was
of
in
it.
the middle of a golf course when the CSA news dropped, and I'm reading this, and I'm like, oh no, guys, no, man. Then I saw
Probably
your message come in, and I was like, okay, we're gonna have to talk about it. So everyone, if you're wondering when we're gonna talk about the Boucher situation, will be tomorrow. But thank you very much today. Thank you very much, Tim. And we'll say goodbye. Enjoy your day, everyone. Goodbye, good night, and lesale kakahiso.
Hello, hello. Excuse the interruption. We'll be playing the Full Quota podcast with Dinisha Devnarayan as soon as we can, coach of the SA Women Under 19 side. And the news from the ground in Taunton is that the rain is still coming and going. And so we are still waiting for any cricket at all. There's another inspection 10 minutes past the hour, about 8 minutes from now. So we will keep an eye on that and keep you informed as far as we can. So thank you very much if you are sticking with us. We do appreciate that. And we will bring you as much of the live cricket as we can. In the meantime, please enjoy with us the Full Quota podcast interview with Dinisha Devnarayan. As soon as that is available, I will let her rip. There we go. Enjoy. More on our YouTube channel.
Hello, 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 and welcome to the Full Quota podcast. My name is Mpho Mutlani, and I've got Tim alongside with me on One World Sports Radio. Remember, whenever you're on and you're watching us and you like our content, please do subscribe to the channel. We've got British and no, that's gone actually. It's South Africa versus Argentina Rugby Championship this Saturday. Some live digital commentary with a watch along, and you can talk to us. So that's going to be quite cool. But today we have a special guest. We have a conversation with one of the leading ladies in the South African women's circuit. She's the national under-19 head coach and also the head coach at the National Academy, Dinisha Devnarayan. We've got her coming up. Tim, I just wanted to check how you're doing. And there was some news coming along the pipeline with the Proteas team being announced to go to Sri Lanka. Any surprises there?
No, I don't think there's any surprises there. It's the usual suspects, but the one positive is that Dwayne Pretorius is back. He's clearly fit and ready to go. I think that was in some sense a missing jigsaw at the side. So it's good to see him back.
Yes, and we're going to talk a lot about that back on our normal Tuesday slot of the Full Quota podcast. We're going to be doing Tuesday and Thursday slots coming along the pipeline as the domestic season starts. We've got some good guests in and around the South African domestic circuit that we're going to be talking with as the season starts. September is normally cricketing season. Sun's out, not a lot of wind, just beautiful pitches being laid out, and that's what we love, and that is the game we love of cricket. But let's get ourselves going. Let's bring in Dinisha to discuss her career in sport, and also her role as the CSA under-19 coach, and also the head coach of the emerging team that's going to be playing against Thailand in a month's time. So let's get her on and let's get chatting. Hi, Dinisha, how are you doing?
Hi, Mpho. Hi, Tim. Yeah, thank you guys for having me on. Really appreciate being here. So yeah, thanks a lot for having me on the show.
Yes, we should actually be thanking you for taking time out of your busy day. I'm sure it's quite a lot busy with the emerging tour happening in, I think, in less than 20 days' time. So thank you very much for your time. Dinisha, just wanted to have a chat to get to know you better. Our listeners are really avid women's cricket followers. Actually got a WhatsApp message right now with a question, which I'll ask later. But I think, Dinisha, let's start from the beginning. Obviously, you played 51 times for the South African women's national side from 2008 up until 2016. The first question is, how did you get into cricket? Were you always a cricket lover, or did you pick it up at school?
Yeah, I think obviously my first interaction was cricket. It wasn't the normal one. I was actually a vivid, like a proper fan for soccer. I loved soccer. So I grew up in Johannesburg Springs, and I played a lot with the boys. So it was just soccer. We hold soccer tournaments, and it's just soccer. And then it so happens to be the Cricket World Cup started, and there was this buzz around the Cricket World Cup. And I asked, like, what's the sport about? And do only guys play the sport? And at that time, women's cricket was unheard of. So like my dad said, yeah, he assumes that it's a guy sport. And I promise you, from the moment I heard that, I was like, there's no way that has to change. So I went to the carpenter next door, and I made him carve me out a cricket bat out of wood. And it's probably not nice to say now, but we used a potato, right? And I'm very sorry that it had to be a food item, and we taped masking tape over that. And that's how we initially started. And then obviously it evolved to a normal cricket bat. And then I think fun then. So at first I just wanted a bat. We drew chalk lines on the wall. So everyone told me that I got bowled. I said, I don't see the bails out. It's actually quite funny. But so I just wanted a bat. I thought bowling was a lot of work, and fielding was even worse. I don't want to chase after the balls. But yeah, so I was like a spoiled brat amongst all the boys. But yeah, and then that's where the love of the game started. And then, I found myself thinking more about cricket than soccer. And I just fell in love with the intricacies of the game, the challenges that came with it. Like, it wasn't just, like, for me, soccer was like, we've got to score, get the ball, pass it, move forward, let's get it. We weren't even thinking tactics. But my brain just exploded with cricket. I was like, why? Like, how do I get the ball here? How do I get the ball there? But it was more in a batting perspective. I wasn't really much thinking about the bowling, which is quite ironic, because when I made my national debut, I got selected as the opening bowler. So
it's very funny, because obviously when you speak about the potato, I'm like, I should have used the potato. We were trying to find many ways to create a cricket ball out of the masking, the whole masking tape thing. We ended up, I think, covering a tennis ball with it, and it just had too much bounce. But yeah. I get you. I'm with you there.
In terms of your transition, we will go back to your coaching just now, but you talk about the intricacies of the game. Was coaching always something that you wanted to go back on? Because you've been coaching now at various levels for quite a long time. So was that something that always in the back of your mind to do the coaching?
Tim, to be honest, it wasn't. I didn't think I'll follow a career path in coaching, if I'm being really honest with myself. What I did do well, or what I did enjoy at the time, when I played for the national squad, a few of us, if we had extra time, we'll get together in the nets, and so we'll get around the nets and we'll just throw balls. And I offered my advice. At the time, I just saw it as advice. But the feedback that I got from the players was something I really enjoyed, because something that's really important to me in my life and in my coaching is being in a position to grow other people. That's like, it's a fundamental key for me. So I wanted to grow people. And when I got this feedback, I was like, maybe it's something I can do on the side. So I actually went the studying route. After high school, I went into university, and I got my financial management degree. And then I did coaching in schools. And then it was just like a pastime. Even then, it didn't click. It's not coaching, not a career path. I've got to make something of my life. Let's go into finance. You're good with numbers. Let's do that. And then we got to 2014, and KZN offered me the KZN women's job. But I was unaware of the fact that coaching was just fulfilling my life. It was, I felt like I feel like I found my purpose. And, you know, I don't think every human can live a full life and say that they found their purpose in life. And I'm so grateful for that opportunity, you know. In 2015, I'd got my level 3 certificate done. And from there, it was no turning back. But I'm also kind of, I love the books. So in 2015, I also started my HRM, Human Resource Management degree, which I qualified. But I don't find myself ever being in an office unless I'm retired and I need something to do with my life. But it'll be in a cricket space office, not at a bank, not at a firm. So yeah, if I had to give you maybe a specific time, maybe around 2015, and that was still like, I think there was like about 8 years of coaching before that, but 2015, when I realized I was that only female in that class of, I think it was 30 males, and Charles Langeveld was on there, you know, the ex Protea analyst was on there, and I'm like, wow, you know, you are destined for something, and you don't have to figure it out now, but this just keep on doing what you're doing, because it was fulfilling my life, it was enriching my life. And now, yeah, I'm here today, and maybe in the next 3 or 4 years, we'll be having a different conversation.
Oh, yes, we're going to love that one. We're going to love that conversation. And we're really excited for you. You speak about a passion, and you speak so passionately about the game of cricket. How, coming through up until the professional level, how was it? Did you have to join a club? Did you have to try and navigate? Because I think a lot of the girls out there are finding different ways of getting into the game. But how was your journey up until actually the Proteas?
Yeah, quite an interesting one. But I think I was one of those players that actually fulfilled right through the CSA pipeline. So when we moved to Durban, I started playing Baker's. Well, at that time it was Baker's mini cricket. At first, I went to play because we get a nice bucket of cookies. That was nice. But then, obviously, you know, I would play with the girls, and you know, everyone be like, "Wow, you know, look at this girl, like she's really good." And at that time, you're so young, you just love the game, you just want to play. And then, obviously, from there, my dad put me in a women's cricket club. I think I was still 9 at the time, and it was a woman, like I'm playing against women. And you at first very nervous, but I think after my first season, I think I topped the bowling rankings. And then my dad said, no, I think you got to start playing with the boys now. So up until under 11 cricket to under 17 cricket, my club cricket, I played with boys. So, you know, just in terms of clubs. But through that, obviously you perform well and people identify you. And I went for KZN schools. And from grade 8 to grade 12, I represented KZN under 19 schools team. I made the SC under 19 squad in my final year. And then I got selected actually in grade 10. So in grade 10, I got selected for the KZN women's team, you know, and still then you're still a youngster. And then, yeah, by the age of 18, 19, performed really well in the season, got invited to a national camp. And yeah, at the age of 19, they said, you know what, you cracked the nod and you take in the first ball in your debut match. But it's been quite a journey, but I've been one of those that actually followed through the system, which was, it's actually nice to know that you started the Bakers and now you've played for your country and now you in a position to serve your country.
Do you think that you played for the Proteas and gone through the system, worked yourself all the way up, that as a coach you have a what's the word? It's helped you, shall we say? The fact that you've played for the national side, you've played with a lot of the players that are now in the Proteas side. Do you think that's helped you, having played the game at the highest level in terms of as a coach?
Yeah, look, Tim, I think that really helps me a lot as well because I've been exposed to that structure. So I understand the challenges at each level which is really good. Now that you're at a high performance level, you can sort of address gaps where I feel that if we address those gaps, that we'll have maybe a mass participation at a younger level. Because one of the big things that I found out working through those structures and even coaching at that structure, so I coached right from the bottom to where I am now. So I coached mini cricket, primary school, senior, women's teams, and that sort of feel. And what I've realized is our transition, say like from under 13 to under 16 cricket, it drops by 75%. Girls, as soon as they get into high school, they don't want to pick up a cricket bat. And that's a massive thing for me because that affects our pool up top. The quality of players that's coming through. Is there enough competition to put pressure up top on the national level? And these are the questions we're addressing at the moment, which there has been great headway. For the first time, actually, we have an under 16 framework coach with the females. So each union has an under 16 female coach that takes care of your under 16 department, which is exactly what you want to see for women's cricket. And then furthermore, in years to come, if we can get an under 13 framework coach, then we're trying to mirror the system to what the guys have. And that's what I feel my focus right now is to do, is to obviously, you wanna get a sound structure, but you also want to produce high level elite performances at the top. And I feel if a player has to go through all those systems to get to the top, they will know their game a lot better. I feel I wasn't one of the talented ones. I felt I was very hardworking. But you get a lot of players that actually miss. Like they just start playing under 19 cricket. 4 or 5 years from now, they're in the national squad. So it's part of your journey, I suppose.
Yeah, I do think it's part of your journey, and we've seen a lot of obviously being in and around women's cricket and around Gauteng. You see a lot of very, very good youngsters at 13, 14, 15 playing in their club's first teams. And as you were speaking, kind of obviously now made sense as because of the drop off, and there's not a lot of cricket in schools as well. Well, it's growing, but it isn't there at this point. With your role as your dual role, obviously as SA under 19 coach, as well as the National Academy, obviously you started speaking into those pipelines. But what's the ultimate goal for either? Is it what for you? What if when you finish? What would you like to see coming out? Is it for you to set up the pipeline, or is it for you to make sure that we have enough under 19s, enough of a pool for you to be able to be successful at that World Cup in 2023?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, actually. I think it's a little bit of everything, which makes it a very difficult task, actually. You want to sustain your so remember, it's an inaugural World Cup. It's never been done before. So now my focus shifts to my under 16 girls because they will qualify for the 2023 World Cup. So I want to sustain obviously a free flowing flow of players going from under 13 to under 16 to under 19, hopefully National Academy, emerging, and to the Pro Teams. So I try to simplify it and strategize my planning or my planner in 3 ways, which is really important for me and the space that I work in. The first thing is to sustain that structure. I want a free flowing database where in 4 years' time we can track a player. We want to know what they're doing, why they're doing it, where they are, if they left cricket, why they left cricket. The second thing that I'm massive on in my program and what I want to do is that I want to produce pro teams. So when I work with National Academy emerging, a lot of that focus is that I always tell the girls, I don't want to see you in my program again. I don't want to see you in my team. And they always laugh about it. But it's if I don't see you again, that means I've done my job. If I'm seeing you all the time, that means I am really bad at my job. So obviously to produce the next project. And then the third thing, and it's really important because this is how I coach. I coach with perspective and empathy. So I'm really big on the person the person first before the player. And if I can increase their growth, whether it's to lead their own space from a life point of view. So I always say, let's be better humans first before we better cricketers. And so whether it's obtaining a degree, whether it's getting your driver's license, whether it's passing a subject that you never thought you would pass. Obviously, it's dependent on which team you're working with. That's a massive thing that I believe in growth. And that's something that I want to achieve in the space that I am in for the duration of my contract, is that I want women to empower themselves while they can still dominate on the cricket field.
Yeah, that's hugely important. If you think about the professional football leagues, the under 21s are mirroring what the senior teams are doing. So they're playing at a lower level, but they're playing in exactly the same fashion as Liverpool under 21s is playing same formation as the senior guys. Is there a good relationship between the SA under 19s emerging and the Proteas? Is there passing of notes and discussions about keeping that pathway sustainable and make sure that there's no blockages in between? Is there something that's happening at the moment that's making sure that those three systems are working together?
Yeah, Tim. I think that's exactly why this position has been designed. I think. Remember this position that I hold now. It was always like someone gets a gig at it, go on a tour, but it wasn't a permanent contract, And now for the first time, there's a high performance coach that's look after in our provincial girls. So it was our provincial girls and the Proteas. There was nothing in between. There was no programs put in place. The communication was poor. And I think that's part of my job responsibility. It's not in my contract, but I take that on board. It's to strengthen that. So I don't want a massive gap. I want to actually close that gap, bring that gap closer. And there's meetings that we have with the national selectors, national head coach, myself, and the provincial coaches. And, we try to keep each other intact. So whether it's a camp, reports get sent out. If maybe the Proteas head coach feels that there's an area that we lack in, maybe it's wicket keeping, a memo goes out. So we try to find these areas where we can, sustain or make the certain aspects of the game stronger. So there's definitely a pipeline that we're speaking about. And I'm pleased to say, I've been assistant to the position that I am now for the last 2 years, prior 2019. And there was about 5 or 6 girls that's in the Proteas team now. And that's what we want to see. We want to see that if you put the performances in, you do the hard work, there is a pipeline for you to make it at the Proteas. So yeah, to answer your question, definitely. And there's always going to be time where we have to realign it. We have to look at it. Where can we improve, and how we're going to just get better.
That's actually very important. Because obviously we need to strengthen that pipeline. We've seen it, and we've kind of found ourselves in this golden era in South African women's cricket that we need to capitalize on. Working off of that, with that under 19 World Cup in the near future, it's like 2 years now. Are there any plans for those under 16 girls that you've spoken about to have practice matches? Will there be camps in this year or next year? What's the plan around preparing for that World Cup?
Yeah, a massive one, actually. Unfortunately, due to COVID, we had a really aggressive approach of how we're going to do it, because it was actually supposed to be in 2021. And obviously when the World Cup was announced and stuff, we knew we were behind the 8 ball because of our structures in South Africa. I mean, the girls get together for a week in a year and play a tournament, and that's our under 19 squad. So, we have to relook at all of the structures put in place. I'm happy that there's an under 16 league, there's an under 19 league, but what we're trying to do, and I actually have a strategic meeting at the end of this month. So maybe we should have had this podcast after that. So I'll give you a lot better information. But the whole idea is we want to identify girls that possess talent, and we want to put resources into them. Whether it's equipment, whether it's private coaching, transport. We want to take care of the aspects that shouldn't just be skill. So maybe they're struggling in school, that sort of. So we want to select maybe about 30, and this is going to consist of a road show. I will have a batting lead, a bowling lead. So when I say a bowling lead, that means spin and pace, wicket keeping lead. So I'm going to have a massive, massive drive behind this. I think we might even have like a leadership role where someone just talks about, just leadership and how you need to lead yourself first before you can lead others. And these guys are going to come with us, and we're going to go around the country and say, what you've got to offer here. Because I'm telling you, the one thing that I've realized about women's cricket is that talent's not going to come to us because the sport's not recognized yet. We have to go out there and we've got to find it. And I think that's the most I'm actually looking forward to, is going out on these road shows. Hopefully COVID quietens down a bit, so it allows us to do that. That interaction is so key, and that builds that relationship with the provincial coaches. If you look at your high performance structures, it's maybe 6 or 7 provinces that has players there. But I want to go into a border Kai and say, let's see what's going on here. That's what makes me excited. I want to see about the players that we don't know. So all of that's going to come up. But yeah, like I said, at the end of this month, I have a strategic plan that I'm going to discuss with the board. And hopefully that goes through and we can start this aggressive progress, because I think once we get that road shows going, we'll have mini tournaments, probably in bubbles, and budget allows. I think Cricket South Africa had enough with me with budget as well, because I just want. But
That's
yeah, so hopefully.
That's your job. You always ask. Yeah. You could to ask, otherwise you won't know.
Fair enough. I'll remember that. So yeah, so it's going to be a very, very aggressive myself and Cricket South Africa, to make sure that the team that we take to 2023 has the best opportunity and the best preparation to compete in that World Cup.
That's so important, because as Paul said, we've got a sort of a golden age with our Proteas women, but it needs to be supplemented with what's coming next. We need to know what's coming next is going to sustain the future. Excuse me. Moving forward to the SA Emerging, just give us a rundown on your role with the emerging side. I know that they're playing at pretty much the same time as the Proteas women. Was that deliberate? You're both playing similar sort of schedules. So just give us a rundown on that and on the series against Thailand coming up.
Yeah, really, really excited about our series against Thailand. Firstly, I want to make mention, we're talking about women's sport growing. The emerging team used to only have 1 tour a year, and this year we had 3 already. That is massive for an emerging squad. We had Bangladesh, Zimbabwe, and now Thailand. That is massive. So obviously my main focus there when it comes to the emerging squad, it's obviously your players that they just need that step forward to be a pro chair, but they're just not getting the cut. So what I focus a lot there with Thailand is not the result, right? And obviously Cricket South Africa knows about this as well. And something that I've been massive on is that we cannot focus on results when it comes to the emerging sector. But what we can focus on is individual benchmarks and individual performances. And when I say that, I bring in this concept, and it's a lot in my coaching philosophy that I talk about, is marginal gains, which entirely just means continual improvement. So I got now stats from, okay, we'll just talk about this year, Bangladesh, Zimbabwe, and now Thailand. It helps me set up what the graph should look like. You know, what they require at a provincial standard and what you require at an emerging standard, where you have been, create a PDP document from Zimbabwe to now Thailand, work on those skills, and let's see if we can get to what we decided on. And I think that's the beauty about the emerging part. It's just about growth. You know, it's just about getting better. It's about learning new skills. It's about challenging yourself, playing in an environment where you don't have to have that pressure, I need to perform, but sort of you have that pressure to actually be yourself. You know, I think it's easy to say be yourself, but I think when you're in an environment and it's a team that's always changing all the time, I think it takes more courage to actually be yourself than to have the pressure to perform. I hope that makes sense, because it's something that I've been trying to get out there, is that rather be yourself, be authentic, be you, play your game, and we can always work on technical things. We can always work on areas you need to score, but do what comes natural to you first. Don't look the part. You know, you don't have to be eloquent. Just be you. Let's see what made you successful, and let's see how we're gonna refine your game to make sure that I never see you again. Sort of those ones. But just to go back onto the tours clashing, and it wasn't planned, but I'm actually happy that it is at the same time, because I
I
miss
thought
a
so, yeah.
bulk I miss a bulk of my players that will be going to West Indies, which I'm excited about. It gives an opportunity for my youngsters, or even the ladies that was in the emerging team but didn't have uh, at that time they felt they didn't have like a senior role in the team. So I'm really excited to see that. And I think that answers your question a little bit about what's next. You know, we got Protea Women's, but what's next? What's after that?
Yeah, and you've had 3 tours, the one to Bangladesh, and there's the one that was in Zimbabwe. Now this is that one. We saw a lot of the players in your team coming through the WSL. How important are tournaments like that in identifying the talent, and like, because we look at the 100 in the UK, obviously they've managed to get both men and women in the same platform, but I looked at the WSL and was like, this is so important, but it comes once a year, but we know that obviously women's cricket plays in windows. How important is getting women's cricket to be all year round, so we can get our emerging the next level to be able to play a lot more cricket and get a little bit more professionalized?
It's huge. It's probably the biggest thing that I'm trying to fight, is make women's cricket all year round. Okay, we don't play 4-day cricket, so, and that might change in the years to come. So we'll hope for that. But
And it should.
it should. So I think that's where the struggle comes in. But I feel we've got to try and make it at least an 8-month year for women's cricket. It's got to be something where you're not only playing from October to February and you're playing 10 games, you know, and that I'm talking women's provincial. You know, these girls need to play more cricket. It is vital. Tournaments like the WSL I don't know how to explain this, but it's vital. It's absolutely important that we have tournaments like this, especially your elite tournaments, because now you're playing the best against the best. You can measure yourself not in your province. You measure yourself your best in your country. And once you get that feel, you want to be the best in the world. And that's what I am trying to create for the high performance environment. You know, but it's a massive structure. It's a massive structural change that we've got to look into. Girls need to play more cricket. I always say, you know what, my successes doesn't depend on what I know, and I could give you the motivational speech of my life. I can know the ins and outs of the technical game, the tactics game. I'm not going to guarantee you're going to be a better player. The only way I can guarantee that that's going to happen is when you're out there by yourself. and you learning how to approach conditions. How am I going to play this type of bowler? Did I struggle here up in the high felt? But Durban was a little bit short. These are the questions we need to have, because that is going to win you World Cups. Not us spending time in the nets and then only have a game in the next 2 or 3 months.
Yes, I think a lot of our fans were asking when the next women's tours were going to happen, because it seemed like it was a little bit of a longer period since obviously India and you guys playing in Zimbabwe. Tim?
Just to go back into what you said before about the grassroots, what do you think needs to happen to get more women, young girls playing cricket at the school level? Because we all know that that's where the bite comes, if you like. That's where you get your youth interested in the game. So what needs to happen there at that level to get interested in the game?
Yeah, I tell you what, Tim, it's actually quite interesting. I'm not too far off how far off I am with my stats, but if I'm not mistaken, when we start the mini cricket program, it's actually a percent more at one stage that we had female participating in the KFC mini cricket program. So I think the initial fact is there. I think we've got to start looking at how our primary schools are run. That transition from going into mini cricket to hardball isn't an easy one for a girl. So maybe, I don't know if we introduce us, just to make that transition easier, where we're going to start putting pads on, helmet, and when you look at younger girls and you look at a cricket ball that's hard, it does take them off shift them off the passion of the game, because they feel they're going to get hurt. And it's still a thing about women playing cricket. It's still a stigma, so there is certain things that we can address. But I think once we sustain a primary school league in each province, so say we get 6 to 8 teams in a province, let's create a league, get the top tier schools or whatever together, make it regionalized, play a tournament. I believe the same has to happen for under 16. Yes, our under 19 structure is a little bit better, but we still need a lot more schools taking in cricket. And then just from a stakeholder point of view, or from an association point of view, I think we can market the game better to these little ones. So I think whether we use our Protea ladies or the emerging ladies as poster girls to get it out there in schools, get it into the clubs. I know Cricket South Africa is in partnership with the Department of Basic Education, and there's a channel that goes out with cricket. But I'm sure there's other avenues that we can reach a bigger target, where a little girl that doesn't know anything about cricket, which was me in Bakerton Springs, picks up the bat and say, I want to play cricket. That's what we want.
Yes, that is truly what we want, and with the World Cup, the women's 50 over World Cup being next year early, there's a little bit of time to grease the wheels and push this through, because I do think a great performance in that World Cup, like in last year's T20 World Cup, could lead to more opportunities and more girls watching, and that's what we want. I think that's the ultimate goal. We want more girls playing the sport, and because that helps you get a larger pipeline. That helps the country in the end, because we end up becoming world champions, and that's the ultimate goal. I've just got one last question for you, Danisha. In your 20 years of cricket, what is the one moment that you cherish, that you will always go back to? Is it that first ball you bowled against Ireland, or is it something else?
It'll always be my debut match singing the national anthem. And I had goosebumps before the anthem, during the anthem, and after the anthem. That I don't even know if the words were coming out as I was choking up. But as soon as I put that green and gold jersey on, the national anthem of you representing your country and the people that backs you, amazing. I don't know what's going to top that. I don't know.
You winning the
But
World
that
Cup
was
in 2023. That's what's
yeah,
gonna
that's
Yes.
and then we'll
Full-
sing the
fully
national anthem
coached.
after that.
Okay. In terms of you on a personal level, going forward, I know you're doing your level 4 this week, if I'm not mistaken. How's that going about? And what are your goals going forward the next 2, 3, 4 years as a coach?
Thanks, Tim. I think that's a brilliant question. And I'm going to answer it as honest as I can. Personally, I'm one of those coaches that I love to own my space that I am in now. I'm really grateful for where I am. I'm really grateful for the the opportunity to grow others and grow myself. I think that's really important as well. So you mentioned the level 4 coaching course, and I am absolutely blessed. It's something that I've always wanted to achieve. And only because there's prestige to it. You can say you're a female in a male dominated sport. You're fairly young. People still ask me why I don't play, but we're not going to get into that. The interview's almost done. And I think wherever my job or my life takes me, I have to believe it's a spiritual one, and also that whatever work I've done will pave that road for me. And I think it's so important for me to stay in that. A lot of people ask me, you want to coach the national squad, you want to coach international cricket? And I said, anything. If I end up as the Protea men's coach, then that's what my road has led me to be. And I'm going to own that environment and make that environment better. Or, you just want to produce performances, and that's what I want to achieve. But yeah, I think also from a personal note, what I want to achieve, which I feel will help me a lot, is I want to complete a life coaching course. I think it will go a lot into the way I see life and the way I live my life and the way I coach. Maybe that gives me a better understanding and processes to help players realize what their purpose is in life.
That's amazing.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it
Fantastic.
is because I think all the best coaches in the world are effectively life coaches. They always want to make sure that a player is left better than the day they came in. And so even though you want your players to not see you again, I do hope that you see some of those players in a position further on later on in life, because it's moments like that. We remember the coaches we loved and we enjoyed working with, and it was sad leaving them, but also you also hope that one day you could work with them as they come along. But Tanisha, thank you very much for joining us for this one. I've got my phone was blowing up a little with a lot of comments saying that they love your passion. They really do hope you get all the success, because our girls are in good hands with someone who wants to make a difference. And it's really refreshing to see your passion, because that's what we want. Everything's not perfect here in South Africa. We don't have the pipelines like everywhere else in the world, but I know come 2023 that 11 is going to play their hearts out, and I'm hoping for a few surprises and hopefully a trophy at the end. But I wish you all the best with everything that you do, and we'll meet again sometime and have another chat to see how things are going. But yeah, thank you very much, Tanisha, for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. I love this interview. It actually felt like I was just talking to two friends, which was really great. Thank you for obviously growing the game. I think that's important. Getting the word out there. And yeah, I'm really privileged to be here. So thank you guys so much. God bless you and take care.
Yes, thank you very much,
Thank
Disha.
you,
God
Dinesh.
bless you too. Yes.
Go well.
That was Dinesha Devnaran, an incredible interview. I loved it. I know
That
that
was
our under 19s are in a good spot.
indeed.
And
Couldn't have
yeah,
said it
Tim,
better
like,
myself.
but like, here's the thing: like in the WSL, there were some girls who were going to be playing in Dinesha's team in 2023,
Yeah.
and it's so good to see that there's somebody who cares, somebody who's there, who's going to make sure that they move through the gears and through the different areas. And yeah, that Thailand series, we'll be watching it very closely, as well as the women in the Caribbean, because I think that's always really lovely. I hope they do the whole South Africa discount where we play at 8 p.m. instead of that, because that World Cup, because we did the World Cup on One World Sports Radio. We did commentary for that World Cup, that Women's World Cup in the Caribbean. I think it was 3 years ago. And we didn't sleep. Well, Chris and Simon didn't sleep. But the rest of us found our way through. Yeah. So yeah, next week we've got lots more interviews. We're moving towards the domestic season, but also we'll talk about the Proteas men's team, the ODI team, T20 team. We're gonna cut it up for you. And we're gonna. There's a lot of people who aren't there. There are people who are there that some people think shouldn't be there. So we're going to be talking about that after our main interview tomorrow, next week Tuesday. But yeah, do follow us on YouTube, on Facebook. Do like, subscribe, and then we'll see you on Saturday on this channel. We've got the Springboks taking on the Argentines, the Pumas in Gqeberha at 5 p.m. It's the Rugby Championship. We didn't play last year. We're going to try and beat them this year's world champions. So that's going to be fun. The Springboks haven't lost. Okay, they have lost a game now, so I can't say that. But they haven't lost a series, so hopefully they'll carry on going through. But Tim, have a great.
I'm just gonna jump in there quickly. Tanisha is lovely. She just said thanks very much. Please say thank you to Paul, and she really enjoyed it. So just let you know that was really good.
Yeah, no, thank you very much to her and to you. You just keep on bringing these people through. I don't know how you know them, but I'm just so happy because the Full Quota podcast let everybody know that we have the guys. We bring you those cricketing conversations. And yeah, so Tim, have a good evening. All the best to Liverpool this weekend. And yeah, let's not talk about Arsenal, but yeah, it's the start of the Premier League, so that's it. So have a good one, and we'll see you on the other side. Thank you very much, everyone. Goodbye.
Well, there you go. That was one of the most enjoyable podcasts, listening to the coach of the under-19 women's side. Hopefully we'll see her again soon on the Full Quota podcast. And Tim and Paul are working very hard behind the scenes to get back. There is a pitch inspection happening as I speak to you right now with the ladies' test match in Taunton. So we will keep on monitoring that. In the meantime, we'll play you a series review, which was also recorded some time ago. So that mention of the Springbok game reminds me that on Saturday we'll have the Springboks taking on Wales at Loftus Versfeld here in Pretoria. So please join us on One World Sports Radio for that. Andy Mike on YouTube, what is the score now? How to watch live cricket. Unfortunately, we cannot bring you visuals at this point. Or at any point. In fact, we are a digital audio broadcast station, so we'll bring you ball-by-ball commentary of the action as and when it happens. At the moment, there's no cricket happening in Taunton, And let's just check if there's another update. No, there's still no update from the ground. If you have some news there from England, please do share it with us, and we'll play you one of the many full quota cricket podcasts that we have on One World Sports Radio. Thank you for sticking with us if you are still there. We do enjoy bringing you live cricket commentary, live rugby commentary on Saturday. So let's enjoy this next one.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Full Quota podcast. My name is Mbumtlani. I've got Tim Del Lace with me. We normally give you a cricketing podcast. This is going to be the last show of our season. We're going to take a bit of a break after this. And so we thought, as a treat to pretty much everybody, I think ourselves and all our followers and our cricket lovers here in South Africa, we get an interview with a person who's played in the previous cricket season. We did our review last week, so please do go check out all his thoughts about the entire season, and we spoke about the four different competitions that were there. But outside of that, remember, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel at One World Sports Radio, as well as on Patreon. Follow us on the different social media channels regarding the England series going forward and the cricket that's going to be happening coming down the pike. Tim, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Yeah, as you said, this is the last one before we have a little bit of a break. Looking forward to the break, but looking forward to this chat as well. It's always good to get a viewpoint from the players rather than us just engaging all the time.
Yes, so we've been speaking a lot of Division One players. We've had Neil Brand, we've had Mutusami, and now we've got a Division Two player. I was allow him to just get himself a set up, and so it's quite interesting to get a viewpoint of obviously that side of the competition. We've got the Northern Cape Heat captain, Aubrey Swanepoel. He's had a really great season. And so, Tim, thank you very much for organizing this. Let's just bring Aubrey on. Hi, Aubrey. How are you doing?
Hi, guys. I'm all right, in yourself. Thanks for having me on your show. Really looking forward to have a chat with you guys.
That's great. I think we are excited to have a chat with you. Aubrey, obviously, I think for us, you had a great season this year with the Northern Cape Heat. But for those of us who are probably, because we've got a lot of non-South African fans and fans from around the world, just take us through your cricketing journey. How did you start? How did you get into cricket? And how did you progress through the levels? I know you did play some under-19 cricket. You played a lot of first-class cricket for Northern Cape, Griqualand, as well as the Knights. But just give us a sense of where this journey has taken you.
Okay, yeah, I'll start from the beginning for you guys. So I'm a born and bred Kimberley boy. Went to school in Kimberley, matriculated in Kimberley. I made SA Schools 2000, first SA Calls 2006, SA Schools 2007. I was just unlucky not to go to the World Cup with the likes of Wayne Parnell, Reza Hendricks, all those guys, 2009 Malaysia, and they did really well. And then I've made my first class debut 2008. Played for Griquas back then. My first class debut for the Knights was the following year, 2009. And then I've played all my life. I've played for the two franchises, and from there I've captained Northern Cape for about 92 games, and then now that it's a heat, I've captained them this season. So just more general, I've played a lot of cricket in Kimberley, so I've got used to the guys around here. Yeah, other than that guys don't really know. I was the captain of the Hong Kong Sixers 2018, and we won the Sixers.
Yes, that was what I was going to bring up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was a captain
Solid.
then going to Hong Kong. Yeah, and now I find myself playing for the Heat the past season, and was really a great season for the Heat. I think well led, a good coach, and we'll chat about him. But I think the guys that I'll mention in this chat will you'll probably in the near future have probably chat to them on your show as well.
That's good. It's good to know.
Yeah.
Is Tim? I think I'll refer to you. Tim and I will alternate throughout this chat. So, yeah.
So just to go through into this season in particular. So the new structure came in. You told you we're going to have two divisions. We're going to have two extra teams. So how was it for you as a player, knowing that this new structure would be there, and at least on the face of it, there'd be more exposure for your guys? So the semi-professional was not there anymore. It was a lot more closer together, if you like, the two divisions. You even had the playing with the Division 1 teams in the first T20 competition. So how was that when that all came about?
Yeah, when CSA started having these talks for the smaller unions, it was probably something that they were looking forward to. For me, particular, I've played a lot of B team cricket, if you may call it, semi-pro. So I was really looking forward to it, having the change and knowing that the team that I've played off of my cricket for could have a promotion in the near future. But I think CSA has really made this initiative to move from semi-pro cricket and have two divisions. I think will only grow cricket and make cricket better in the country, because as you've seen the past season, I think there's enough cricketers to want to play in Division 1 in our system. If you look around the team, around the system, Division 2 teams are not just go by night team that anybody can beat. If you follow the T20 stuff in beginning of September, guys or Division 2 teams are putting their names up there and wanting to play in Division 1. Teams like SWD, Northern Cape Heat, even the Tuskers, all the teams I think are making the right signings, because from next season there's going to be relegation and there's going to be a promotion. So I think having the season the Heat had this season was unbelievable, but you want to build for the next couple of years. But like I said, coming to the restructuring, for me it was a no-brainer. I was really looking forward to it. Playing cricket, not wanting to impress guys, just enjoying cricket was something I really did enjoy this season. That's awesome.
Yes, and I agree with you. I think it was really great for us to get a sense of the landscape of cricket in South Africa, and the only way was to have that Division 2 so closely aligned with the Division 1, so we could follow both. And on our show with Tim, we followed a lot of the Division 2 cricket. Speaking about your squad, I loved how your squad was comprised of at the Northern Cape, because you had some really exciting youngsters, but then you also had some guys who had franchise cricket experience, and that kind of added a lot more veteran help in a division that was, if you looked across all the other squads, guys were trying to find their feet. I find it quite, there were a lot more youngsters in the other team compared to yours, but it kind of seemingly worked because the Jonathan Van Deers, the Kasim Adamses, yourself, who's been in and around the system for a very long time, pulling through and coming through and adding that being able to push yourself away from all the other teams.
Yeah, I think when our coach put the team together, Mark Charlton's a really good coach. If you followed his trail, when he was with Northern Speed, he won serious competitions, and I think he was the right guy to get in the heat. He came with the bright ideas, and his leadership team was important. He had myself. I've played over 100 games. He had Johnny V. He's played enough. He had Ernest Kim. He made sure that the guys that he put his trust in to lead his team has already done all the hard yards. And I think that's why Northern Cape should take their hats off for employing Mark Charlton as first. And I think he's a well-driven engine wanting to win. I think that guy gives everything for his team. He only wants the best for his players. So I think that guy was on the field, probably one of the better coaches I've seen. Off the field, he made sure that traveling was arranged properly. We probably stayed in one of the best accommodations we've had in a long time for Northern Cape. And I think all the credit should be given to that guy, because he made sure that his players was enjoying off the field and they would fire on the field for him. And I think that's what happened. I think the match winners that Northern Cape had this season was all because of he made sure that he believes in each and every individual that he put on paper for that day. And I think that's what came down. It was some days it was my day, but the other guys was like myself, Johnny V, Ernest, even Jones had an unbelievable season. And I think he's probably one of the better cricketers going around in Division 2. He's been I think he signed to Division 1. So the players that Charlie brought here knew what his role was, and they knew what type of guy he is. And that's why all my success, and when people speak to me, I was down and out in the beginning of the season. And that guy just knew how to make sure that each individual would tick on the day.
Oh, that's really good. It's really good to hear that there's good coaches in around the country and across the divisions. I've spoken to a few coaches in the Division 2 setup, and they say exactly the same. They said the work that Mark's done in Northern Cape has been absolutely superb this last season. So it's really good to see. On a personal basis, on your personal goals for the season, what were your personal goals? If you just look at your 4-day stuff, you were averaging 62. Was the 4-day stuff an aim for you? Was that a particular format that you wanted to target, or?
So to be honest, I was thinking of just playing white ball cricket about 6 months ago, and that's why I say again about if you follow on Twitter today, or on Instagram, you'll see what Debray Shams is tweeted, and I think that comes down to a lot of cricketers. So he came here and he opened my mind to think that I'm not just a white ball cricketer. And in the beginning of the season, we sat down. I said I want to score about 400 runs. And if I take 15 wickets, I've done my job for the team. And I've got to 400 and I think 460 at an average of 62, as you mentioned. But for me, the surprise package was the season was with the ball. I became a match winner for the team with the ball. And I never worked on bowling, but Charlie's, like I said, I'll probably speak a lot about Charlie. You always said when we met in June that I don't back myself bowling, and he said this season you'll make sure that I'm a different guy when I leave, and I can take my hat off to him. I left Northern Cape with no regret, and that guy gave me everything I needed this season.
And that's also quite interesting because I think when you started your career, you were a lot more balanced, more bowling than batting. But then as your career went on, you became a better batter. It's just it's about that confidence that you speak about, and I think to Bray Shams' tweet, and I'm going to read it for the people so everyone can get it. He said that what's the one common thing that all players believe helps them to consistently perform well? Being backed by the people in charge, I believe, is the biggest thing a player can ask for. Back a player and see how he or she flourishes and rewards the team with gun performances. And you did that. And those gun performances started through in that T20 challenge. Or was it not a challenge? It's a T20, I don't know what CSA called it, but it was the earlier T20 tournament. Yeah,
I think
where
it was a knockout tournament.
Knockout, yes. And you were in that group with the Lions, and there was that super over with the Lions. But your performances throughout that tournament really stood out as a hold up. We've actually got some really gun cricketers in Division 2. And it was your bowling actually that came to the fore there. Obviously, it was new. You had new players in that tournament. How did you and the team feel about going up against the bigger franchises who are now obviously the bigger provinces?
Yeah, I think when Charlie, the first time we really spoke in the hotel, he was like, he made it clear that the 13 guys that we have here are like, he called us like the rejects, that no one wanted us in Division 1, if you may call it. So then he said, we are all equal and we're the rejects that no one wanted in Division 1. And then we all decided as a pack that we have a point to prove for the season, and that's what we did. We weren't just walkovers, because like I said, Charlie trains like professional. It wasn't like we Division 2, we can't do stuff that Division 1 do. We trained like Division 1s. We made sure that we went to, so our philosophy in the heat was 1% every day better for the community. Respect each other. And that's one thing that we had this season. We had respect for each other, and we always gave our 1%. So one thing I'll tell you about Charlie, he was like the first guy there picking up bottles. He'll be the last guy picking up bottles. And that's what he spoke about, 1%. And I think in tough games, games we should have lost, I think, 4-day cricket, those 1%ers helped us. And when we were 50 for 5 in the one-day game, if you followed against Limpopo, was 1%ers that week that got us to the to the finals. Goes building up, we made sure that we ticked all the 1%ers, and I think that's what made the Heat a successful team past season.
Yeah, really good. Did you and Charlie have a particular format that you targeted in particular? Did you say, right, okay, we're gonna go all out on the 4-day stuff, and we're gonna be strong on the others, but we're gonna be, or did you guys go, you know what, we've got 3 competitions, let's hit them all hard and see where we end up?
So when Charlie signed his players, he said he's signing 4-day cricketers, because his philosophy is that if you're the best 4-day cricketer, you'll be the best 1-day cricketer, and you'll be the best 2020 cricketer. So he didn't go out and look, oh, I'm going to sign two 1-day specialists, one 2020. He went out and he signed, just made sure that his 4-day team was well balanced and that we're going to compete in 4-day cricket. And that's probably why we was as successful as we were the past season, that he thinks that if you dominate 4-day cricket, you'll dominate the short formats as well.
That's actually quite important, actually, because I think a lot of the teams, even in Division 1, struggled with that, signing certain players for certain formats and coming up short in others.
Yeah.
I just want to take us back a little bit. Obviously, you've had a career since 2008 or 7-8. How has it been mentally going through being in and out of the franchise teams, playing in that semi-pro level, trying to break through and not necessarily getting through the way you would have liked?
Yeah, so just more inside information about me. So in 2009, I went to National Academy. Then I got banned for 18 months for illegal bowling action, if you just look back. And then I had to remodel my whole action. It's like a baby crawling and then walking. And so it took me about almost 4 years to find my feet bowling again. And I wasn't really a out and out batter, but like the Brazos tweet, I met a guy by the name of Wendell Bossinger, and he made me to believe that I can become a good batter. And that's why I always thought I was stronger than a lot of other players out there. I don't say I'm the best, but when it comes to the mental side of the game, I rate myself up high, because I knew I could play in Division 1 for a lot more than the opportunities I got. But I knew that somewhere in life, something's going to give. And I think the past season I had, I'm really grateful for the man upstairs giving me opportunity to still walk onto the field and at my age. But I just think the stuff I did when I was younger, I knew that if I caught the game at 30, I wouldn't reap any rewards while I was planting those seeds when I was younger. So I'm now bearing the fruit that I planted when I was young, and I can only get better from where I was the past season, and I'm looking forward to moving now.
On to that, I will come back to something else, because what you said about the mental side is very, very interesting. Very interesting about having the mental strength to get over hurdles. That's very important. But if we move forward, what brought around the decision to move to the Knights? What brought you around the decision, and how did that all come about?
So that decision happened. I was hoping to move anywhere in the country, and then when the Knights coach JP Trigard was the Northern Cape coach a few years ago, I think he gave me a ring, asked me if I'm willing to move. I said, I think it's now or never. That if I'll wait a bit longer, I might not have the season I have, and then I'll never know, having a full season in Division 1, what would it have been like. So when it came to the move, it was a family move. Made it easier because I have a daughter that's going to high school, and she wants to be in Bloemfontein. So it was. I knew, like I said, the Brazos tweet means a lot more. I played for Charlie because he backed me, and it's going to be the same with JP. He backs me he's even said that he's willing to give me the captaincy in white ball format. So that was something huge that I couldn't turn down. So it's always about making sure the coach backs you, the leadership committee backs you, the people in the boardroom backs me. And so moving to the Knights was just having the backing of everybody in Bloemfontein.
Yes, and congratulations for that. I think for me, it's about recognition of the season well done, and you're one of the top performers, bat and ball in Division Two, and that's what I love about this two division system is that it's so close now, and everybody now has an eye on both. That should there be performers at Division Two, they most likely will get contracts, and a few of you other teammates, I'm sure, will get contracts at some of those Division One provinces. But like, so obviously, you speak about captaincy. Is captaincy love to do? You embrace you like to do, and when did that start to be like a leader on the field, and why do you? One of the reasons that you enjoy it.
So I think captaincy came natural to me from a young age. I was always wanting to lead, and I'm married to a psychologist, so she's also well driven, and that's what helped me with the mental side as well. So when the off-field stuff started affecting me, she's always brought me on the right way. But leadership, you gotta want it, and not just given to you because you've played 100 games or you're the most senior guy in the team. I think you gotta want to be the leader in the team. So if you're 18 and 19 and you think, it's only the old guys that can lead, you gotta be the leader in the team and stop saying ifs, maybes, and buts, but wanting to be the guy in front that says willing I, and it's not always about just make sure that everybody's happy in the team and not just yourself would make you a great leader. And I grew up struggling, and that's why I made sure that I want to fight and never say. I'm not a Liverpool supporter, but their slogan is something that I looked up to. And so that was something that also stood by me. So I'm a guy that always backs philosophies and stuff like that. So that was me when I wanted the most this season.
Can I ask? So was the move to the Knights more about getting? Was it predicated on the amount of chances and opportunities that you get across the different formats? Did you have the discussion around which formats are you going to be for them for all three formats?
Yeah, it was about those decisions, but I just thought that I think every youngster, I'm not that young anymore in South Africa, want to play for South Africa. So I just thought I'll have a better opportunity if I play in Division 1. And if I have the same season I had in the past season, I might just put my name in that. So one or two good knocks, you never know how far you are. So that's what also why it was a no-brainer in playing in Division 1 cricket.
Yeah, fair enough. You should have said you are a Liverpool fan after last night's performance.
I would be selling myself short if I say I'm a Liverpool supporter. My team's really struggling at the moment. I won't tell you what's my team, but they're struggling.
Well, we can guess. We can guess. They maybe recognize everything.
I just lost you there for a bit now. Sorry.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying they might need a little bit of Charlie in the dressing
Okay.
room to
Yeah.
galvanize them and turn them into a juggernaut, because your Northern Cape last year was so good. Obviously, getting into that final of the One Day Cup and also winning the 4-day competition. Which one of those two was the one that you cherished the most?
I
In
must
terms
say,
of
I really had an unbelievable 4-day season. So I must say, I cherish the 4-day trophy. Uh, it was close to my heart. I think any cricketer to average over 50 and take 31 wickets at a strike rate of, I think it was 17 or 18.
yes,
I think I really have to say I enjoyed the 4-day cricket. I think the guys also made it fun for us playing the 4-day stuff. So I think we wanted the double, and lucky we didn't have it. But just to get the 4-day victory was cherry on cake, and I think everybody that's played for the Heat this season can take their hats off, because it might have been my knock against Easterns, might have been someone else getting 20 or 30 that contributed that didn't even see it. But I think each individual that played for the Heat this season can take their hat off, and you can walk broad shoulders in the community, because the team is well recognized now in the community, and they supporting the guys, hoping that come in 2023 that the Heat will be the team in Division 1, if I may say.
Yeah, no, you're right. It was a real team effort. There's no shining light that it was a real team cohesion, which was very easy to see. One thing that was very similar, we've had Sean van Berg, we've had Saul Ervier, we've had Neil Brunt on here, and all of them taught us the importance of playing league cricket in England. Just playing cricket in another country with different conditions, different setups. You played there a few years as well. Just talk to us about the importance of that in terms of your career, how it helped you.
Yeah. So the UK was keen for me. Was a really key thing for me, because even in South Africa, the wickets central is not the same on the coast. So going to England made sure that you hit the ball later under your eyes. You meet lifelong friends. So cricket's not just about your teammates and stuff, but when you go abroad and you play in England, you make friends for life. And I think the English supports South Africans open arms. And when you land there and you do well for their club, they'll always want you back. But I think just going to England, getting used to different balls, different conditions, it's all a big plus in your armory. So when you have an opportunity to go to England, make sure that you jump on that. And it makes you a better cricketer. It teaches you discipline off the field. You got to take care of yourself. You won't have your parents to look after you. So when you have that move to the UK, it starts making you a man and not just a cricketer. So for me, going abroad was I really enjoyed it. I had about 5 or 6 stints. I was going to go this season, but just for family reasons, I had to pull out. But I would be in the UK now if I had an opportunity.
It's really good. Good to know. Look, obviously, looking towards the new season, do you have any expectations? Any expectations for the new season? Is it a situation of, do you have runs in your head or wickets, or is it just, I want to play the best cricket I can play?
So last season, I made sure that I don't think of runs and wickets and stuff. I just play as enjoyment. I don't need to. So knowing that I've signed with the Knights, I've have about 10 4-day games. 10 one days and 2020s. All I'm going to do is just enjoy it. And if runs comes, if wicket comes, I'll enjoy it even more. But the main thing is to have fun and just play with an open mind. Every time I'm there, I'm not going to put a lot of pressure that I have to win and stuff. Those stuff is just going to be in the bag if it happens. For me, it's just playing cricket, enjoying myself, and have fun.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, I think the Knights are very, very lucky to have you. I think they're going to have a very good cricketer in hopefully the next couple of seasons. Hopefully it's not just a one-off. Hopefully you stay there a little while. I'm going to finish off with a nice question. What is your favorite ground in the country?
Oh, that's a no-brainer. If I could walk out to Newlands every day, I would be in Cape Town.
Okay. Well, there'll be a lot more opportunities of playing in Cape Town next season.
Yeah.
So that's going to be. It's gotten flatter though, and that's my only bugbear about Newlands is that I think. Has that changed your view of it, or do you like this new flatter version?
I just like the surroundings. I'm not too fussy about wickets and stuff. Just walking around and seeing the amazing ground, seeing the mountain on your left, that's unbelievable.
It's truly beautiful. It is really beautiful. Just one last thing around the level of competition in Division 2. A lot of people would want to just check as to how is it from Division 1. I don't think there's too much, but how was this season in terms of the level of, how did you find the level of competition at this level?
Yeah, I think all the teams in Division 2 competed well. I think there wasn't one team that you knew, this week you're getting maximum points and stuff. If you travel to Mpumalanga or if you travel to Oudtshoorn, it was a big fight. It wasn't just, it's a walk in the park. We'll get 20 wickets and we'll be back on. We'll have maximum points. I think every team and every coach in Division 2, I think, selected their best 11 that they thought, and it was a proper dogfight every week. It wasn't just you rock up and you get points.
That's good to know. Aubrey, I just want to say thank you very much for joining us on the podcast, on the Full Quota podcast. Really do appreciate your time, and we want to say all the best next season. As a Knights player, I support the Lions up here. Tim supports Province, but we'll be looking out for you to just make sure that to see how well you're doing, because you've done a great job this year, and I'm truly impressed with what was happening in the Northern Cape. Actually, before we go, just tell us about Mark Charlton. Tell everybody about the man that he is and the coach that he is.
So Mark is he's an easy.
And we are back live with Emma Lamb bowling right arm over the wicket to Laura Wolfhard, who defends this one to the offside. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Play is underway in Taunton. And we will see how much cricket we get to do for the rest of this one-off test between England and South Africa. So, luckily, we've had some amazing podcasts to listen to in the meantime. So let me just get the scorecard here. South Africa are 27 for 1. And I'm joined by our good friend Ravi Nair. Are you still awake?
I'm propping up my eyelids with toothpicks, but yes, I'm still awake. I wouldn't
There's
miss
an
it.
appeal for LBW. Laura Wolford just being beaten there by Emma Lamb. We'll get the details for you in a second. Just getting our bearings. 27 for 1. South Africa trail by 106 runs. So 2 slips, gully point, mid on, mid off. Emma Lamb running in again, right arm over the wicket. And Laura Wolford drives this one outside edge past the backward point, and gully fielders there. And they come back for 2 runs. The South African batters are Laura Wolford and Lara Goodall.
A lot depends on these two. You can't expect Cap to redo her first innings heroics, can you?
Well, it's up to the top order in any cricket match. Laura Wolford, by far my favorite cricketer at the moment. Exquisite cover driver.
A lot of people's favorite. I think she's a lot of people's favorite, isn't she?
Yes, indeed. And so she got an outside edge there. So it is the end of the over for Lauren Bell, excuse me, who bowled that last over. And that over yielded 2 runs. That's the end of the 13th over after the rain delay. So Lara Goodall now facing Kate Cross, it looks like. The left-handed Lara Goodall. Kate Cross round over the wicket, onto leg stump. Half-hearted appeal by the bowler, but that one definitely pitched outside leg to the left-hander. And Lara Goodall fell over herself as she tried to work that to the onside, and there's no run. So the score is 29 for 1, 104 runs behind are the Momentum Proteas. Lara Goodall taking strike against Kate Cross. This one on her pads once again. There's a short square leg in who fields this down into the ground. No run.
Have you noticed that, unlike the men, the women don't use the tactic of bowling round the wicket to left-handers when they're right-handed bowlers? I mean, Stuart Broad immediately switches to round the wicket when he's bowling to a lefty. But Kate Cross and most women bowlers tend to keep pushing it across the lefties rather than at them, if you know what I mean.
Lara Goodall just defended that one into the offside for a single. And the score now should be 28 for 1. I'm just removing all our podcasts here from the studio, just getting the clutter out of the way. Excuse me, Ravi, but this was like a 5-minute warning once again. But it's 29 for 1. 30 for 1 after that single. Kate Cross coming over the wicket now to the right-handed Laura Wolford, who just clips this into the onside for a single, and the score now 31 for 1. Yes, you know, I'll say it once again, I'm not that deep of a student of the game. There are some fundamental differences between the men and women's games that are quite appreciable. And one I find most fascinating is just the fact that they bring the boundaries in as Kate Cross comes over the wicket to the left-handed Lara Goodall, who defends this one solidly outside the off stump, pitches on middle and off, and Lara Goodall just sends it down the pitch, no run. So that creates it's almost like the pitch in I think it's Auckland, where it's a rugby stadium, so it's like a square field. Kate Cross over the wicket full and onto the leg stump of Lara Goodall, and she she just caresses that down to long on, mid on runs back, and they come through for 2, it looks like, or 3. We'll just confirm that for you in a moment. The score moves on to 34 for 1. So that was 3 runs by Wolford, and good running there by the South Africans. And that is the end of the 14th over. 34 for 1. That was a 3-run shot by Laura Goodall. She retains the strike, the left-hander. For South Africa, she's on 16 of 33. She scored 3 fours so far. Laura Wolford, 15 of 43 with 1-4, 34.8 strike rate. Both of them in their first test match. And it will be Lauren Bell continuing from whichever end. I'm not sure.
We have a lot of interaction between you and Jeff Perkins on Twitter, a ton of taunt and ton, and so on. And Lambertus Cornelius says, for a start, do not play a test match on consecutive work days. Most people work then. Over a weekend, you can take kids, etc. Yes, Lambertus, we absolutely agree with that. The problem is that the English schedule for the summer is so packed. They had to fit it in between England finishing a test against New Zealand and then starting on Friday in a test against India.
The last one was a thick outside edge by Goodall out to the offside for no run, and this one worked to the onside for a single by Laura Goodall, and the score moves on to 35 for 1. Yes, continue.
So it's very difficult. If you played the test simultaneously, there is every chance that the women's game would be ignored. This way, at least it gets its own position in the national schedule, if you know what I mean. By national schedule, I mean the national game. But whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, you, Anis, and I already discussed it. Should the women's tests be run simultaneously with the men, concurrently with the men's, alongside? I don't know. But I do think that women need to build their own game. As you said, it's a different sort of game from the men's game.
That last one by Lauren Bell, left alone by Laura Wolford outside off stump. This one defended by Wolford into the covers for no run. It's a difficult thing, Ravi. The ultimate solution would be that the women's game have their own fan base, or an overlapping fan base that prefer the women's game, as Lauren Bell hops and runs in high knee action in a run-up, goes onto the off stump of Laura Wolford. This one goes to mid-wicket for no run. And then in the short term, I think it's just about letting people know that women play cricket, because I don't think that many people are aware of it. They're broadcasting this game, for example, here in South Africa, but there were no advertisements at all for the series, for this test, nothing. Lauren Bell, high knee action once again into the leg stump this time of Laura Wolford. She works this past short square leg. No harm done there. 35 for 1. Good over by Lauren Bell. Only 1 run from it. And the score is 35 for 1. South Africa trail by 98 runs. We've got the lead to under 100. We being South Africa, of course, with the green-colored glasses that we have on here on Gorilla Cricket South Africa.
Except for me, where I have the red and blue. But yes.
So it's SA versus England on the commentary as well. Let's go.
Well, you were saying that you're having this match broadcast in South Africa, which gives us a cue to speak of Twitter, where Andy Mike says, how to watch live cricket match. What is the score now? Well, you've given us the score. Andy Mike, it really depends upon where you are. I'm in India, and I have no way to watch the match let's say on free to air or on cable. So on South Africa, it's available. Where are you based, Andy? Maybe it does depend on where in the world you are.
Absolutely. So Kate Cross has bowled 2 balls past the outside edge of the left-handed Laura Goodall, and the England captain, very encouraging there.
Heather
Her name
Knight.
escapes for the
Heather Knight.
moment. Heather Knight. And this
Yeah.
one is onto the leg side of Laura Goodall. She just gets some bat on that out to mid-wicket, no run. The plan here for South Africa surely has to be to bat for 3 sessions and a bit and just get the draw and just avoid defeat. England are still in extreme control of this match. Oh, and there's an edge. There was an edge on one of those Laura Goodall shots through to the keeper. This time, Laura Goodall gets some decent bat on this, sails to the long off boundary for the left-handed Laura Goodall, 4 runs. That was a much more convincing shot. She just leaned into this excellent cover drive, too long off, and Kate Cross over pitching. Well, not really over pitching, on a good length. It struck the bat about halfway up, and just a good shot there by Laura Goodall.
Well, I think we're going to have rain again, so this might be the end of it for the day, which is good news for South Africa, of course, but that means for women's cricket, because I think the last few test matches, wherever they've been played, have ended in draws. The pitches have not deteriorated, but the bowlers have got more and more tired, and we've seen very large 4th innings and 3rd innings to survive.
So that last one by Kate Cross was another dot ball. Laura Goodall facing her once again. This one on off stump, and another good punch down the ground by Laura Goodall. Is this going to run to the boundary? Yes, it's 4 runs to Laura Goodall. And it's an excellent shot, showing what she's capable of here. Laura Goodall, was that ball back? There was a fielder there. Yes, the England fielder celebrating. So correction there. It wasn't a 4. That was actually good fielding by the England ladies. Izzy Wong taking off her jersey. So we will see a
change in bowling.
Yes.
Well, England can afford to throw all their bowlers at it right now, can't they? They've only got at maximum 13 overs to go tonight. So they'll try Cross and they'll try...
all out attack.
Well, yes, exactly. They might even try Eccleston. Why not?
Exactly. So the score now is 42 for 1. The answer to Life, the Universe, and Everything. The ladies there, Laura Goodall and Laura Wolford, ran 3. So that means that Laura Goodall is on strike to Izzy Wong. She leaves this one a bit over pitched, and Izzy Wong coming right arm over the wicket to Laura Goodall. The left-hander pitches this one outside off stump. Easy leave there for Laura Goodall. Full of a length, and through to the keeper for no run.
Well, Izzy is only 20, but she's very, very quick. She gets up to 120, I think, nearly Shubman Ismail speed. And if she gets her control, she's going to be a threat for the future.
And that's exactly what you were talking about. That one pitches on off, almost folds Goodall in half, but she manages to get some bat on that as it goes to fine leg, and the ladies run through for 1. 43 now for 1. Izzy Wong taking a breath at the top of her mark. She is an extremely talented cricketer. She can really cause trouble for anybody in the modern game. She comes over the wicket to the right-handed Laura Wolford, who's solidly behind this one, attacking that off stump. Izzy Wong, and Laura Wolford denies access.
Yeah. Well, I know why you guys love Laura Wolfhard so much. Everybody in Guerrilla Cricket South Africa does. And that's because
Mm,
she's such an elegant player.
mm.
She is, and she's a beautiful driver of the ball. Uh, Contrary to you lot, I'd place her second in the world after Smriti Mandana as the most elegant of batters. But
Mm.
you absolutely have the right to love her. Plus, she delivers. She
This
does
time,
score. Yep.
this time Wong puts the ball onto the pads of Laura Wolfhard, turns her square, but that ball is going down leg side. No thought of a review or an appeal. Laura Wolfhard facing Izzy Wong once again past the umpire. And this one is on middle and defended into extra cover by Laura Wolfhard. No run. The score is 43 for 1. South Africa trail by 90.
Yeah, South Africa are looking to survive right now, not really to score, are they? They're not in a position to push for quick runs, even though
No,
runs are important.
No, I think from this position, it's just survive, occupy the crease, never mind the score, never mind anything else. Just occupy the crease as long as you can. Izzy Wong into Laura Wolfhard, who defends this one. Dickish outside edge to backward point, no run.
Yeah, and that's fine. Let them see the day through without losing a wicket, and they will feel really, really happy because then there's only tomorrow to negotiate.
Yeah, 3 sessions, 100 overs in the day.
Yeah,
in the women's in this test. Kate Cross will continue. That is the end of the 17th over. South Africa scoring at 2.52. They've lost just the wicket of Steyn, and Kate Cross looking at the seam, making sure it's in her fingers as she goes to Lara Goodall outside off stump full, and Lara Goodall goes for a drive, and we're joined by our niece, and there's no run, and it's
Hello,
43
everyone.
for 1. How's it?
Good, good. Power just came back on, so I'm ready to go.
Oh, fantastic, Anis.
Yes.
You're good man. Are you able to take over from me? Because I don't
Ravi.
really have a theme, and I'll
Yeah.
duck out now if that's okay. Otto.
Yep. Thank you, Ravi.
Okay.
We
Thanks,
love
Ravi.
you.
See you guys later. I'll see you guys later, maybe tomorrow or something. Let's see.
Cheers,
Bye.
man.
Cheers, cheers.
That last one was
So,
just outside.
another-
Yeah.
So another
I
dot
think I
ball.
might get a ball behind you. Yeah.
Are you gonna ball by ball?
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah.
Nice. I'll sync up with you because I'm watching live.
Okay. And this one keeps a bit low from cross, just outside off stump, defended by Goodall to a mid off for no run. Seems a bit up and down. Pitch obviously a bit damp from the rain and the constant drizzle around the ground. How things been going so far? I've missed quite a bit. Goodall and Wolfhard seem to be doing well as Cross comes in again. This one on middle and defended straight back down the ground, cut off by a mid off for a no run. Score remains 43 for 1. Heck of sorry, Otto.
No, it's been frustrating and quite hectic. 6 hours without electricity during the day. I managed to get my 8 hours in, so guilt-free cricket commentary for me.
this one from Cross is sliding across Goodall, but just straightening a bit, and she manages to squeeze it out past Gully, but there is no run. Very tentatively poked at there by Goodall. I think it's been. I made a comment yesterday, and Lennox there, one of our as Cross comes in again. This one straight and on middle, and it is tucked off the hips of Goodall down to fine leg for a single. She moves on to 25, and the score is 44 for 1. I made a comment yesterday about Xena Warrior Princess. The effort of Marizan Cup. And I got taken to task by long-time listener, Lennox Leah. And just tried to inform me that Xena plays for the women's team, as we would say. As cross comes into Wolford now, past the umpire. This one is slower ball. It seems it just died on the track, and Wolford has no problems just taking a big step forward and defending straight back to the bowler for no run. 44 for 1 after 18 overs. And I told her that the only reason I mentioned Xena was because I didn't want to mention, because I had to think, couldn't think of another alternative for Hercules. And Hercules just happened to be played by Kevin Sorbo, who is not exactly the nicest person, apparently. So, yeah, and as we know, the great Lucy Lawless played Xena Warrior Princess back in the night. TV shows that I used to watch.
Okay, so is this a Marvel versus DC kind of battle?
No, they're in the same universe as Wong comes in now, and it's defended by Goodall, and it's stopped by short leg for no run. They're in the same universe. They actually interact, they cross over stuff and things like that. So it's basically Hercules was there for the boys, and Xena was there for the girls and the older boys. Of course, to get the hormones going.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it was like who represents who.
Yeah. And
okay.
As one comes in again, this one down the leg side, and it's taken behind by the keeper for no run. But yes, I just wanted to clarify that, and I don't want to get you. I don't want to make Leah upset again. Upset with me again. Yeah, I really enjoyed the I like the comment from Gorilla Cricket. By the way, like us, tweet us at Gorilla Cricket, Gorilla SA, to interact with us as one comes in again. And this one on the strays on the legs, and it is straight to short leg again, where it's cut off before no run. 44 for 1 after 18.3. Yeah, with the comment, how can we grow the women's game? And the debate was between both teams from a single country touring a single country, and the overload of cricket that it might cause as one comes in again past the umpire. Drops this one short down the leg side. It doesn't rise above Goodall's hip as she lets it go, and it is straight to the keeper for no run. I agree with both. I like the idea of a combined tour with both men and women's teams playing in a specific country, because it does open up the experiment to get a mixed game in, and that would be something interesting to see. But I also understand the dynamic of there being just too much cricket being played, as Wong strays down leg side again, and Goodall's got an edge to it, caught down the leg side, and she's walking. South Africa are 44 for 2, a fortuitous wicket by England, a soft dismissal by for South Africa, and that just came out of nowhere. It looked very innocuous as down the leg, and it looks like she strapped. It came off. I don't know what it came off of, but they went up and
that could only have been bat, as Amy Jones throws the ball to the umpire. Izzy Wong is ecstatic. She's got her second wicket, I believe, in the match. I think she only took one in the first innings, but good work there by Izzy Wong, just peppering that leg stump line. It looked like she was missing her line, but apparently that was a plan and it worked. Whether it was a plan or not, it worked. She's got the wicket of Laura Goodall, and
she was falling over, and that was pretty close to the ground, but you're right. There's nothing else that could have hit. Very soft dismissal. Oh, to
Yeah,
be caught like that. Oh, it's a nightmare.
yeah, strangled down the leg side, Laura Goodall, and she looks a bit sheepish as she walks off during the replay there. That's a good one for England. Good one for Izzy Wong. I was wondering why Izzy Wong kept.
Yeah, brings in the captain, Sine Lus, who faces up now to Izzy Wong. This one short of a length on off stump and it's just defended back down the track for no run. 44 for 2 after 19. And that's the end of the over. The captain of South Africa at the wicket now probably going to give a bit of have a conversation with Laura Wolfhard, telling them they got a better day. Don't worry, my Sun Cup's coming. It's
6 overs remaining in the day, according to Crick Info. Current run rate is 2.31, but South Africa well behind the 8 ball here. All things coming up English.
The heroine for the English team, Natalie Sciver, is coming into the attack, right or medium.
Yeah, I was wondering why Izzy Wong kept on that leg stump line. I thought she was bowling to a right-hander, but then there you go. She got the wicket. Laura Wolfhard facing Sciver.
As this one on off stump and just defended to the offside, cleaned up by point for no run. I think Laura Wolfhard and Sine are going to shut up shop for tonight and come back in the morning. Hopefully there's some sunshine and it's a bit better conditions for them to bat. Because right now it's dreadful. Looks dreadful out there. It's dark. It's probably cold and it's wet. As this one is full on middle and off stump, and Laura Wolfhard just digs it out and pushes it back to the bowler, Natalie Sciver, as Laura Wolfhard remains on 15 or 54. Very watchful innings so far from her. I've always thought that Test cricket would really suit Laura Wolfhard, as this one is coming in to as Sciver comes in just outside of swinging into Laura Wolfhard, and she defends straight back to the bowler for no run. 44 for 2 after 19.3 overs. South Africa trail by 89 in their second innings, as Laura Wolfhard takes strike again at a Sciver. This one is on off stump, and it just sneaks through between bat and pad, but it gets an inside edge and it runs down to a short backward square for a single, as my stream has gone. Oh no.
That's good. I'm synced up with you. Laura Wolfhard stretching her back and her quads, reaching all the way down with the bat, all the way onto the ground, trying to get those muscles warm, as Sunay Lees will now face the next delivery by Sciver coming over the wicket. She defends this one outside off stump, back to the bowler for no run.
Yeah, it's just it's so like I said, I really just thought that Test cricket and Laura Wolfhard would fit hand in hand, and she gets the opportunity to show just that. As I got my stream back, Sinelis is getting ready to face the next ball.
A solid defensive shot by Sunay Lees. Out to extra cover for no run. End of the over. 20 overs gone. South Africa 45 for 2. They trail by 88. This is squeaky bum time for South Africa. We see a replay of that Laura Goodall dismissal, and Izzy Wong just kept peppering her on the leg stump, and we see a replay that there was a little bit of a spike as the ball went past the bat. So good on you, Laura. She walked off and that's the spirit of the game.
Very, very, very seldom do batters walk nowadays, and we give them
Hmm.
credit. We give them credit for walking, but in the reality is normally guys from the big three don't walk. I mean, say it's in the
That's
spirit of the game, but
that's
guys from the big
that's
three don't walk.
yeah. Take a leaf out of Laura Goodall's book, and if you know you've nicked it and
Take
the
a walk.
ball was caught, take a walk and come back the next day. Go and go and do the work the next day. Izzy Wong will continue for England. From which end, I'm not sure, and I apologize for the purists who want us to give the
Give the end.
ends. As she comes now over the wicket, 3 slips in to Laura Wolford, doesn't know where that went, leading edge, and it just bobbles out to silly point or no run.
Ooh,
Oh,
yeah, I'm seeing it now. Okay.
oh, oh, square leg was there to catch that one. Izzy Wong dug it in short and got the confusion there off the shoulder of the bat.
Oh,
Laura Wolford was looking to square leg as Izzy Wong comes in again. This one is wide outside off stump. Wolford flashes at this one through to the keeper. No run, no
took that one
edge.
in the thumb. Oh no, and there she's fishing.
Blood in the water here for England. They know they can get 2 or 3 wickets here. If they can
Yeah,
get Wolford now. Oh, flashed at that. Laura, near. No, what are you doing?
she just needs to calm down now and just relax.
Izzy Wong into Wolford once again onto leg stump. Fumble by the keeper and don't take a run, please. Yeah, Wolford
No,
says no, and that's it. No run there. So Laura Wolford being worked over here by Izzy Wong,
she just
and
needs to
she's
keep her head.
obviously feeling the pressure because, like you said, she's expected to be good at Test cricket. She's never played a Test in
Yeah,
her life. So this is her highest score, 16. Izzy Wong comes past the umpire to Laura Wolford, full and driven straight to extra cover, no run. Laura Wolford just playing those strokes, and that's exactly what the team would want. Just get that woman driving, and she'll get an edge. If the ball
yeah.
can move a little bit for Izzy Wong, she'll get the wicket of Laura Wolford. Laura just needs to leave. Play the leave, Laura. Come on.
This is where today Liz needs to just take a moment and have a chat with her,
Izzy
just to
Wong
calm her down.
runs up. Lots of energy in a run up. Laura Wolford, a bit over pitched by Izzy Wong and driven straight to extra cover by Wolford. No run.
Okay. Yeah, this is
Mm.
this is definitely where Sinelis just needs to go over to her and say, "Look, just take the drive out of the equation right now. Bet for what we've got 5 overs left. Just bet out these 5 overs, and let's come back tomorrow and try to secure this draw."
Wong into Wolford. Once again, a slash. And it's caught at backward point. And Laura Wolford is gone. England have their wicket. England have their second wicket. Their third wicket, excuse me. And that is the end of Laura Wolford. 16 of 62 deliveries. Caught at backward point by, I'm
Oh,
not sure
sorry.
who that was, at the off the top of the bat. And Gully gobbles it up. And that is the end of Laura Wolford. Izzy Wong has her third wicket in international cricket.
Yeah, that's disappointing. Just as I said, today Liz needs to go down and have a chat. She goes and throws a bat at a wide one, and she gets caught. Oh, yeah, that's gonna be disappointing. Oh, Sikakune in. It's gonna be just to bat out the next couple of overs.
Yeah, 4 overs remaining in the day. That was the last delivery of the 21st over. South Africa 45 for 3 now, trailing by 88 runs still. Laura
Easy
Wolford
really bringing
gone for
the fire.
16. Mm-hmm.
Just
And
there,
that's
sorry, we
Lees facing
yep.
Sciver. Leaves this one outside off stump. Goes through to
Yes,
the keeper for no run. That's better by the
the
South
most
African captain.
the most valuable shot right now in this match situation. The leave, just leave everything alone outside off. Oh,
Yeah, I think Wolford was beaten by the bounce there. The ball
yeah.
just caught the outside of the top of her bat. And another good leave by Sunay Lees. Wide outside off stump from Nat Sciver, and there's no run.
Yeah, I think just the exuberance of youth, I guess, from Laura Wolfart, just chasing one. And it seems her feet were in the toilet as well, not really moving much, but that's a heart wrenching dismissal if you're a South African fan.
Yeah, and then Sciver sends this one cutting in to Lees through to the keeper, no run. But that
Yes.
was a good delivery by Nat Sciver, forcing the shot from Sunay Lees, pitching and moving away from the right hander, beating the outside edge, all ends up. And talk about no foot movement, Lees guilty of that
Yeah.
as well. Sciver into Lees, and this one catches an outside edge down into the ground to gully, exactly where Laura
Laura
Wolford got
Wolfart,
caught.
yeah.
So
This was
that's
today.
good bowling.
If you look at today, let's see her foot. Not this ball, the ball before her foot was on middle and off, and she was playing outside off stuff. So yeah, it was there was very 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 weak foot movement right there as Schiffer comes in again. And
Another rip snorter by Nat Sciver. Pitches on a good length, leaves the edge of the right hander, forcing her to play the shot. The line is on off stump.
oh
Sunay is covering off stump, and the ball just deviating off the seam through to the keeper for no run, beating the outside edge. Sciver in again off a short run up. Fuller this time. Sunay catches that one on the half volley. And is it going to go to the boundary? Run ball. No, it's cut off. And they will come back for 2.
outfield is so wet. It was always going to stop in the outfield. And that's the end of the over. 47 for 3 after 22. 3 overs left in the day. Sekakune on strike. Just try to keep things strike. I want keep things tight. I wonder if Wong is going to keep Izzy Wong is going to keep bowling. I do imagine that it's going to be possible to take the ball out of her hand at this moment in time. She's on fire, absolute fire at the moment. And she's got that pace. She's got pace, which is maybe having a think of why so I mean Ishmael isn't in the team and just could have gone short burst, but fitness issues are a good enough reason to rest her as Izzy Wong comes in now. Past the umpire. This one dropped short and Sekakune ducks.
No, and that's a wide. It's dug in short by Izzy Wong. Sekakune just
that's well wide.
Dives underneath it, but I think if she had put her hand up, she couldn't have caught that. She's not the tallest woman in the world, but a wide for being too short by Izzy Wong over the leg stump. Maybe trying to tempt Sekakune into the hook shot. There's 3 slips and a gully in as Izzy Wong comes to the left-hander route over the wicket. And Sekakune is very solidly behind that one for no run. This one was pitched on leg and middle, trying to force the shot. Did manage to get Sekakune to play the shot, although she could have left it on length. but there's been some variable bounce on this pitch. So Sekhukhune with a straight bat, very good defensive shot. Izzy
Great
Wong
hit.
wasting no time, coming back in again to Sekhukhune on the leg stump line, trying that same tactic that got rid of the left-handed Laura Goodall, but Sekhukhune just letting it go through to the keeper for no run.
That's exactly the same line that got Laura Wolford as well. The short one, the first up to Sekhukhune, welcome to Test cricket, and then from there just banged on straight. Izzy Wong not scared to attack the stumps. None of these English ladies are, which is very very good. Ooh.
And this time Sekhukhune does leave it on length. The ball pitches around the stumps line, but she knows that it's going to bounce over her off stump, and it does so through to the keeper for no run. Good lead there by Sekhukhune.
Oh yeah, very very good lead. We say it's a very good lead, but if the ball came back and it took a clip to off stump, we would have said that was a poor lead. But it was a very good lead because it missed everything.
It did bounce too much. So Wong in again, this time on Midland leg, forces the defensive shot by Sekhukhune, no run.
Yeah,
dabbed it out to the onside.
Sekhukhune having lots of faith in this pitch, as you mentioned before. There is a bit of variable bouncer around on this wicket.
Yeah, so if the ball is pitching on middle and off, the left-hander facing the right arm over, immediately Izzy Wong is back in, and this one goes down the leg side. Will that be another wide for height? Sekhukhune had no interest in playing that. Wasted delivery.
Which right now is the name of the game. If you don't have to play anything, leave it alone.
The leave is a shot. The leave is a legitimate shot in Test cricket, man.
The leave is the best shot to play right now. If you don't have to play anything, don't play anything.
Leg slip and short leg in, and this one is wide outside off stump. Pitches outside off stump for the right-hander going across the left-hander, so no danger there. Sekhukhune not interested at all. No run. End of the 23rd over. 48 for 3. South Africa trail by 85 runs with 7 wickets in hand. England still firmly in control of this match. Jeez. Can these two just make it to tea tomorrow? Make it to lunch tomorrow?
Make it to lunch.
Nat Sciver continues immediately. And Tusune Lees, who defends this to backward point for no run. Forward defensive shot, outside off stump. Forced to play. No run.
We still got the Zaldi and Marizan Cup to come. So yeah, the Proteas ladies still have some batting.
Dude, Lizelle Lee, please stop being a walking wicket. Just score some runs. Sunay Lees facing Nat Sciver, and she leaves this one outside off stump, lifts her elbows high above the bounce of the ball. No run. That's a good leave.
Lizelle Lee's going to have to try to stick around a bit and not just try to bludgeon everything from the ball, from the first ball, as we are accustomed to seeing her doing in the limited overs game.
Sciver into Lees, and Lees just defends this one off the back foot, short of a length, into the offside, no run. Oh, thank goodness. 48 for 3 now.
This is second last penultimate of the day.
Yes, 9 balls to go. Don't do a Davidson-Richards. Come on, ladies.
Leave everything alone, please.
Sciver to Lees, and an outside edge drops short of second slip by Sunay Lees. Nat Sciver with her hands on her head. Oh, wow, that was so close. Sunay Lees just hanging her bat out to that one. Please take my wicket. And it was a good back of the length delivery by Nat Sciver, just getting some movement through the air, late movement through the air and off the pitch. and Sophie Eccleston at second slip could only stop it from going further. So 1 ball to go in the penultimate over of the day. Nat Sciver with 3 slips, 2 gullies now. She comes into Sinelise, who leaves this one alone. This one, late swing, movement away from the right-hander off the pitch. I tell you what, if Sciver can get that one coming back into the right-hander, that's going to be trouble all day.
So let's just has to keep playing with soft hands because she was giving catching practice the ball before this one. As this is the last
Sciver
ball of the
in full delivery, outside edge, diving gully, can't get it, and backward point runs back. They're going to come back for 2 runs. Wow, that was almost a spectacular catch there for England. Nat Sciver. Let's see how close this was to that extra gully. Oh, who was that? Tammy Beaumont, it looks like, flying through the air. Goalkeeper's catch just behind her. Wow.
That would have been fantastic.
That would have been like Schmeichel kind of keeping. Yeah.
Oh, that brings back memories. Peter Schmeichel playing for Manchester United. Oh.
Flying through the air horizontally. Tammy Beaumont. I think it was Beaumont.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, so that's the end of the penultimate over. It's Izzy Wong into Tumise Kukune on leg stump. She flicks this one out to fine leg. There's a fielder there. They'll take a single. And the score now is 51 for 3. So 50 up for South Africa. We missed the 50 up for South Africa. That was off 24 overs at a run rate of 2.1. And Sinelise will now face Izzy Wong for the last 5 deliveries of the day.
It's not even the end of the test, and we're already stressed. Can she make it through these last 5 balls? What? This is what Test cricket does to us, ladies and gentlemen.
Izzy Wong over the wicket to the right-hander. Sinelise leaves this one well alone outside off stump, whooping away from the right-hander. Good leave. Trying to tempt the drive, trying to tempt the relief of pressure. And Sinelise, the South African captain, just nothing doing there.
If I was the coach and someone get in and she brings out that drive, I'd be immediately start yelling at her from the dressing room.
Izzy Wong full toss outside off stump, and Sinelise just gently pads it into extra cover, no run.
3 balls left.
Well, I've been thinking the way that our ladies have played ODIs, this is a very nervy looking batting lineup once again, but there's no pressure to score runs. Just occupy the crease. Just occupy the crease. Just stay there. Izzy Wong into Sinelise. Short, outside off stump, left alone by Sinelise, and walks to square leg. And that's exactly what we want to see. 51 for 3, trailing by 82. That doesn't matter. There's 100 overs and 2 balls to go for South Africa to play to the draw. I think that's the best result that South Africa can wish for at this stage. Unless they bludgeon. Izzy Wong into Sinelise, full, forces the shot. And this one goes all along the ground to gully. No run.
Just pushing at that, but luckily able to get it, keep it down, and just running to gully. The whole idea of not scoring runs and still being able to do something and it not mattering might be it's the limited overs mindset versus a test mindset, because think about how often it's like, okay, cool, for 3-4 overs, okay, we're not scoring any runs, but it's fine, we're absorbing the pressure. Eventually it's going to break. But I think that this is a great learning curve for our the Proteas ladies.
Wong to Lees, and it's a good length outside off stump. The ball keeps low. It evades Sunay Lees, the keeper, and it goes to the boundary for 4.
And they went.
So that is
She's
Sunay
all-
Lees immediately walks off. I've had enough. I've had enough of you and this whole Taunton thing and the rain and everything. Just get me into my hotel room, please. She walks off, and that is the end of the day's play. South Africa will end on 55 for 3, and Sunay Lees on 4 of 19, Tumise Kukune on 1 of 7. And let's go through the scorecard for you quickly. Thank you so much for everybody who's been hanging around with us with the on again, off again, rain and not rain, and Andre Steyn and Laura Wolfhard opening the batting. Both of them caught by Nat Siver. Andre Steyn was the first to go for with the score on 9. She was caught by Nat Siver off the bowling of Kate Cross for 3 of 8. And the second wicket was Laura Goodall, caught by the wicketkeeper Amy Jones, bowled by Izzy Wong for 26 of 53, with the score on 44. And then soon after, Laura Wolfhard departed with the score on 45, caught by Siver, bowled by Izzy Wong, 16 of 62. And now, Sunay Lees and Tumise Kukune will need to bat out 100 overs tomorrow. Can they do it? I don't know.
Yes, they can. Yes, they can.
Yes, they can. Of course they can. Of course they
Yes.
can. England's bowlers in this third innings of the match: Lauren Bell, 7 overs, 2 maidens, 11 without a wicket. Kate Cross, 9 overs, 1 maiden, 27 runs for 1. Izzy Wong, 6 overs, 2 maidens, 8 for 2.
Oh,
Nat Siver, 3 overs, no maidens, 5 runs for no wicket. So this is the story of the third innings in this one-off test match between South Africa and England. Still exciting to see the ladies play cricket in England, and we hope that South Africa can get something done tomorrow. We will be with you if they are still playing tomorrow at 5 o'clock. We will be on air. I guarantee you that, because I will have electricity and I will be here. Okay, so you can take that to the bank. So thank you very much, everybody, for all the support. Anis, your thoughts?
yeah, it's going to be a good day tomorrow. Hopefully the clouds open up and the sunshine, and I have the song Holding Up for a Hero, which is what the Proteas women need right now. And hopefully they can bat out the day, just to get that experience of batting out a day, just so that they can learn, so it can be the first of many tests for our ladies. And they need this experience. And I'd rather see them go down with a fight than go down with a whimper.
Absolutely agree with that. That's the best you can wish for any of your teams that you support. Just put up a fight, please.
Yeah.
So once again, thank you, everybody. Have a good evening. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.